Hello. Welcome to Welcome to the One Shot Network Patreon Drive. This is the first night.
Very exciting. A very exciting start to a very exciting 2 weeks where I work a lot.
Yeah. I looked at my schedule this week and I went, "Oh, that's more than usual." But it's
Yep.
all going to be fun stuff, thankfully, which I love. Um Chat, if you're in the chat, could you give me a little thumbs or emote of some kind if the volume sounds good and we sound as gorgeous as we should? Otherwise, James, what are we doing here?
What we're doing here, because we were trying to figure out things that we could do that wasn't just more games. A little bit of ways to hang out with each other, hang out with our dear friends and listeners out in the audience. And one thing that we came across is just let's make tier lists and have each other rank them. Now, if you're not gamer pilled, if you're not deep in the gamer verse, if RGB lights don't rule your life, I can explain to you. A tier list is a simple ranking system, usually moving between S as the top rank and F as the lowest rank, and it's ranking different concepts. Honestly, like most tier lists are ranking characters from various games. Fighting games are very popular for having tier lists of deciding who is just very powerful and who sucks to play, who is not good. But tier lists can move in many different directions and can cover many different subjects. And I believe that what we have here is not anywhere close to the
No.
traditional tier list system.
No.
I will point out that this is an interactive activity. If you are a one-shot patron of any level, that is, I believe, including the free level, you can join us on our final tier list tonight. The first two are lists that Dylan and I have prepared for each other because we believe they will spark interesting and fun conversation between us and you. But the final one is Dylan and I each named 5 little guys that we like. But unlike the other tier lists, we don't have any criteria for how to rank those guys. So I have put in the Patreon a post. You can go over and comment on that post for a criteria that you would like us to rank 5 of our favorite little guys. And Dylan and I are probably going to be able to do a few of those. So
Yeah.
get your categories in now, and watch us professionals rank things.
Very, very professional. Okay. So wait, James, we each brought each other a tier list to give to
Yes.
the other first. Do you mind if I go first? And actually, chat, I know that James was a little quiet before. I have hopefully fixed that, but if you could just
Ooh.
let me know if I have succeeded in fixing that. I also turned myself down because I think that was really the thing. Because I I want people to be able to hear you so clearly when when I give you this tier list.
Hear my outrage.
Hear your sure.
My
Here
lamentations.
your yes. Yeah, your lamentations for sure. Okay. So James, my oh, where have you gone? James has dropped the call. It's just me here, chat. Why 4? Did he's coming back.
I'm back. I'm back.
He's back. He's back. We did it. Oh my god. Okay. James has abandoned one shot. That's it. I'm driving the car now. I finally usurped everything. James, what would you say if the tier list I brought to you was a little bit of payback for the worst interview question I've ever been asked in my life that you asked me about 2 years ago? And what if my tier list was our mutual friends and colleagues.
Interesting. Okay, I'm game.
Oh my God, you're too good a sport. I'm not making you do that. That was just for the bit. But you're too kind.
No, I would rank them.
Yeah?
I mean, it would be a very boring ranking as they'd all be like I honestly, I think the criteria would have to be like S tier is they're my dear friends and we talk pretty frequently.
Yeah.
A tier is my dear friends and like we talk but kind of infrequently, and B tier is like we're good friends but we don't talk nearly enough, and ball's in their court. They can solve that problem.
Oh, see, I was going to make you rank based on who's the best.
Who's the best?
Yeah, just who's the best.
Honestly, but that would still be my criteria, is how often they talk to me specifically.
To you specifically, that's what makes them the best.
Yeah, exactly. You get better as you talk to me and hang out with me specifically.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you being such a good sport, and I appreciate all of our friends here. But that's not the real tier list. I did.
Okay,
rank.
so you just sort of created one as a distraction, as a joke.
As a joke, I just wanted to do the bit. Obviously Tracy is the best because they control this channel. Very, very accurate. No, the real one I brought is Animorphs, but specifically the first edition morphs of the Animorphs, the covers. And
Okay, so I'm just ranking the covers.
It's okay. So in my mind, there's like you have to consider all things. You have to consider the following in your ranking of these covers: the character, the choice of morph, and how well the morph is executed on the cover. It's those three things, and that compiles what your ranking will be.
Okay. So it's by technique of morph, not how much I specifically enjoy a given cover.
Ooh, no, I think your enjoyment plays a role here for sure. Yeah.
Okay, let's immediately go to the starfish cover.
The starfish cover.
Because that's going to be ranking quite high. That's going to be doing very, very well on this particular list.
I don't know. Oh yeah, here's the starfish cover. Yeah. Where are we putting starfish?
I'm going to put that at A. I like the idea of there being room for improvement, but I think it's strong. It gives me so much joy. I wish these were larger so that people could see the images. Because Starfish Girl is like
Starfish
a beautiful thing.
Her name is Rachel.
Yeah, it's not Rachel. It's not Rachel at that point. No, because she's partway in between Rachel, partway Starfish. Her face is so wild.
Yeah.
You gotta peep on that. And for those who in the audience who might not be of a certain age, you should know that the Animorphs, I'm sure, is popular to the youth as a graphic novel these days.
Yeah.
Are famous for these digital transformation art covers where they just take a child and they slowly, by stages, transform them into a different animal. And some of them are just so wild.
Some of them are pretty wild. It's somewhere along the middle of things that everything gets a little kooky. I'm gonna see if I can make Rachel a little bit bigger for you. It doesn't really translate well. But like somewhere along the middle, it always becomes super, super cursed. In I think the best way possible. I'm a big fan. What do you remember about the series? Did you read them?
Oh, yeah. I absolutely read them. I was obsessed with these.
Yeah.
I So I remember some of the events fairly well because I listened to Carrie Peach's Animorphs recap podcast, Morphin Club, um, which did go through the entire series.
Yeah.
And it is more or less as I remember it, which is like kind of untouchably perfect art. Were there a lot of filler books that felt like, well, we're not really accomplishing that much here? Yes. But it was a really wild series that I will say definitely respected its audience. I
Yes.
now
Yeah.
have the Animorphs covers writ large pulled up for me, so that I can make judgments on them.
Okay.
Um,
Good. Good.
all right. I am gonna start we'll just go in order here. Book
Yeah.
one here. I am really I'm throwing out, I think, Dylan, the entire criteria that you so kindly listed off, because
Great.
what I'm most interested in here is
Yeah.
the in between phases.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to know what's the best in between phases, and if you
So,
look at the invasion,
yeah.
the first bit up of this morph has a bit of like a handsome Squidward effect going on. The cheekbones just go so crazy.
Fascinating. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely gonna be another A tier for me, I think.
Okay. Okay. Fair. Very fair. They can't. I'm going to say this now. They can't all be A tier.
No, we'll see. Okay. So now we have the cover of the Android here, with Marco. Why is this not in order? Why are they not?
The
Why
next
on earth would this all the Animorphs covers thing not have
not be in
all this
order.
in order?
I don't
Let's go to the
know.
Visitor.
The Visitor is
Okay.
next. That's Rachel's first appearance, where she turns
Yeah.
into. I think she turns into
Cat.
Jake's cat. No,
No,
into
she
her
turns
cat.
into the cat of her. No, this is a cat of her friend, who is the principal's child, I think. Checkers, I believe.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I remember because that was one of the most emotionally devastating moments of the book, where
Yeah.
the Yerk infested principal is like kind of mean to his daughter. And
Yes.
she's just like seeking comfort in the cat, who is Rachel, and Rachel's like, I gotta actually get the fuck out of here
Yeah.
because I'm doing an Animorphs mission, so I can't actually
Stay here, and
tend
also.
to your emotional
Yeah.
needs.
Yeah.
Such a brutal scene.
Yeah, it was.
um yeah, The Visitor, I actually, this has to be S tier. The reason is a lot
Ooh.
of the covers in Animorphs are done with photos. This is purely drawn. And I think that gets you less crazy transitions, but
Mm-hmm.
they are ultimately like more beautiful simply as objects.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Wow, I
okay,
agree.
so the next one on this list is a Tobias cover
Yeah, the
by
encounter.
the encounter. I cannot believe that this link that oh my god, here we go. Okay. Okay, this is a really good one.
Okay.
Tobias's pose here is extraordinary. He's like somewhat crouched,
Yeah.
and moving to, of course, his iconic red tail hawk.
Mm-hmm.
The in between faces are not as silly for this, but I really do appreciate the crouch. I'm gonna go with a B tier on this one.
I think that's very sound. It's not so dramatic. There's not really a fun, goofy middle face on this one so much. But the kid posing as Tobias did a bang up job in that
Yeah.
in that
All right,
pose.
we got Cassie turning into the dolphin here.
Yup.
Come on.
That's my girl.
Hey, I don't know how much business there is out there surrounding creating all the Animorphs covers collections, but like, you got to get your shit together. Whoever is like doing that, you
Whoever's
need to put them
making
in
these
chronological
fan
order there.
sites, Get
It's
better at it.
this is just an Imgur situation that I'm dealing with right now. And I'm trying to I'm just gonna search Cassie dolphin cover. This sucks.
Oh, it's called The Message. Um, it's a good one.
All right. The message images, please, please, just be large. Okay. All right. The way Cassie's
Yeah.
face stretches out immediately.
Yep.
God,
Yeah.
want to give it an A tier again. It's all so good. It's all so good. The problem is like you gave me an impossible challenge, which is that all Animorphs covers fucking rip.
They all
Right.
rip a lot. We have the introduction of Marco, who was my personality when I was in high school.
Oh yeah,
Or deeply
Marco
what I
was
wanted my personality to be.
easily my favorite. Reading these books growing up. You want a guy with quips and japes.
Yeah, quips, japes, and trying not to get everybody killed. We love him for that.
Wow, look at this model. Look at the pose the model is striking.
See, now the pose on this one is interesting because Tobias's, I could buy that he was like sneaking into a place in this. What is Marco doing here? What is this?
Marco is just like buff chest posing right now, and also has
posing.
like this devil may care smirk on his face.
Yeah.
That 3 shifts in. It looks like he's a gorilla boy wearing lipstick. It's just, and also the second to last shift is just a gorilla. There's no boy left at all.
There's
It's
just 2
entirely
gorillas there.
It's just 2 gorillas.
Yeah.
God, and then there's wide Marco. I think this is an S tier cover.
Oh my god. You're too easy. You're too easy.
No, I love them all.
Because, and I say this because then like if you call everything greatness, what happens when greatness approaches? And like that's my concern.
Then it will be part of the world, which is a gorgeous and beautiful place. What are you talking about?
Because we have such a good Jake cover up next. Jake turning into the Fly, which is one of K.A. Applegate's biggest swings, where she decides what fly brains are like when which is the first of many in the bug world, where the kids morph into a bug and she's like, bugs are so afraid and so scared and they're so panicked all the time, and she inserts that bit of knowledge, and I kind of don't think flies are that nervous, but I really like that she asserts it.
Move like they're always like an inch from being swatted. It's crazy that this is not actually all the covers. It was labeled all the covers, yet I don't see that cover here.
I didn't realize that I was giving you a very different struggle than the one that I thought I was giving you.
Yeah, I mean, it's very art-based. It's very art-based, and so I do need to see the art writ large. What is the title of this Animorph?
I think it's called is it called the Exposure? I'm pretty sure. We're gonna take a bit. Why would you show that to me? Yeah, the Exposure. I'm gonna see if I can find.
I see. That's the exposed. Are you sure it's the exposure?
You know what? Maybe I'm not sure.
All
Let's
right,
see.
I'm just gonna search for Animorphs Jake Fly cover.
Jake Fly.
Okay, here we go. It is the capture.
The capture. Okay, that makes more sense.
All right. So one shift in, Jake is a sad fly boy.
Yeah.
He's just his eyes are getting big. His pose is nothing in this. It makes no sense. There are a lot of animal and this was kind of in Marco's gorilla thing where it just had elbows out for some reason.
Yeah.
This I can't imagine standing naturally like that.
Like this.
What
One
would
elbow
he be doing?
cocked. Yeah.
Yeah, is
Turning
he
into a
leaning
fly.
against something? Unclear. It's just a bunch of gold clouds in the background. I will say I think we're down at a D tier for this cover. I don't think it's very good cover.
Fascinating. All right. All right. So an opinion, and I love that. I'm glad to see you rank something low.
I like that you think opinions are only negative opinions. Only negative opinions.
I just want I just need some variety. That's all. Opinions can be good and bad. I wanted to know that you could hate something. That was that was very important to me. We have Rachel turning into a bear next.
Rachel turning into a bear. All right.
And that is
Let's find it.
We are in the lead up to the most important one to me.
Ooh.
Space Velociraptor on the Animorphs wiki. Why does the United States Secret Service have a page? They come up. They come up a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So does the CIA. Lots of police. The United States military for sure. Lots of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so this is for the stranger.
Yep.
Oh my god, just take me to the picture. I only want to see the big picture. Okay. We've got Rachel, looking emotionally on her face. I'm getting nothing. She is already dead inside. We're not that far in the series.
I know.
She's just fully broken in this image. Otherwise, her pose looks as though she is about to wrestle someone.
Yeah, like a bear.
She's got her arms wide. I like how her mouth gets progressively more open as she turns into the bear.
Yeah.
There's also, if we go 3 shifts deep, there's an amazing fucked up Winnie the Pooh.
That's the one I'm looking at right there. Yeah, that middle one is good.
That's really, really good. I'm gonna give it S tier just because of Winnie the Pooh. I think I might.
Hey, that's allowed. I'll take it. All right, the next one is super important because that is the introduction of Aximile, my boy, my Cinnabon loving
Anime dear.
boy anime dear, my little idiot. I love him so much. And that would be The Alien, I believe, is the title of his introductory book.
Yep.
This is great because this is the first time one of the morphs isn't a real animal. It's just, and the morph is actually going to human, which is fun because for all the other ones, it's like a human turning into an animal, and this is Aximile's normal form is being a centaur thing, turning into on the book covers a pretty handsome kid, but in the TV
In the
show,
content of the books, he's supposed to be so much more handsome too.
I know, like that they make that such a point, and then the casting of the TV show on Nickelodeon,
Yeah.
really leaned in and made his human form super dweeby, and I loved that choice so much. One of the few things I think they did right by me.
I like this, and I love Axe. I'm a fan of Axe. But I, apart from getting a canonical Andalite, like, visage, I don't think this cover is doing especially much for us.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
especially when you compare like the uh, built out wielding Andalites that we get on the covers of the books compared to the actually willowy kind of deer-like descriptions that we get of them inside the books.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to give this a. I think this goes down to D.
All right.
Unfortunately,
Okay, we've got
because
our
the
second
content of
take.
this one is incredible. I remember laughing until I was
So
having
hard.
trouble breathing.
Yeah,
At this
it's
book.
a really funny one. Yeah, it's a really funny one. Ab-X, very funny though. Correct. Um, we've got Cassie turning into a wolf.
Turning into a wolf.
And that wasn't I don't think that was Cassie's first.
Battlemorph. No, she was an elephant, I think. It's
I
her
think
main
Cassie's
thing.
first one was a horse, because she is like the one that morphs off screen, so to speak. She like morphs a bunch around
Sure.
her farm before everybody else comes around, and she's like, "Yeah, I've been doing this all day."
Well,
been
yeah, I
morphing
mean,
back and forth.
not her first by any means, but like I'm pretty sure her battle form was an elephant the most of the time.
I think so.
If I'm
Yeah,
recalling, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so Cassie, like, first of all, I love the model that they have for Cassie.
Oh yeah.
She is actually giving so much in this. There's a performance here where most of the kids look like kind of dead-eyed neutral. Cassie is at least looking forward with purpose and kind of intensity, which
Yeah.
I think that's a difficult thing to hit. The middle morphs are a little crazy.
Yeah.
Um, uh, like the first shift in looks a little bit like the Monkey Christ.
I see it. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, and then like the third one in is Uncanny Valley. The last two are just wolves.
Yeah, last two are just
So
wolves. That does happen
last
a
two are
lot, I
just
feel.
wolves. I think this goes up to B, and it goes up to B because the model is so good here. But like, funny middle morphs as far as that's going, I don't know it's bringing the most.
Okay. Oh, and that's the criteria
That's like the most.
Your-
That's the
that's
heaviest
your-
weight in the criteria for sure.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So where are we putting this one?
That's a B tier.
B tier. Okay. I like it. We have, I think it's the android. This is Marco turning into a spider, tarantula, maybe I want to say.
Okay, and that one was.
We've got more
scroll down here.
pose work for sure.
Okay, especially because 3 shifts in, his chin looks like balls.
Yeah.
This is exceptional.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Again, I don't know what he's doing. Is he sitting on something here? Is he supposed to be crouching?
He's
His face again. This is the weird neutral where we can't. This doesn't read as intensity to me. This reads as we couldn't quite get this kid to make the expression that we wanted, and
yeah.
this is what we ended up with.
I'm gonna say it's a direction issue, not the kid issue. I don't think he was told, "Hey, you're about to turn into a tarantula." I think that was missing from the context of the shoot.
It's actually crazy if they're not told that. It's actually so crazy if the models for this aren't told that you're going to be turning into an animal of some kind.
Yeah.
I just imagine them finding out months later. What the hell?
What? That's what I was.
Yeah.
Doing?
The fact that his arms keep going higher. This.
Oh
is,
yeah, they like come all the way up to the back of his neck.
Yeah, this is definitely. This is S tier. This is S tier.
All right. Okay.
Marco really representing an S tier right now.
You're right. Wow. It's Marco Rachel.
Yep.
Okay, we've got the Forgotten. That's Jake turning into a cheetah, I believe.
That looks like a leopard to me.
Leopard. Okay. I don't know my cats.
Gotta get to know your cats.
I gotta know my cats.
I am gonna give this a D tier. It's not doing anything especially.
It's not much. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you. And then, what about Rachel turning into a crocodile or alligator?
The reaction here.
The reaction, because that one.
This is good. This
has really good.
At least 2 top tier like middle things. Like the first shift in. Mm-hmm. Her face is getting longer. It's just she looks like a wild depiction of a caveman.
Yeah.
And then the alligator girl in the middle there is
right in the middle is
also
great.
So wild.
Yeah.
And we have to talk about the model and what we think is happening, what her direction is. It seems like someone is about to throw a ball to her, and she's like, I know the best way to catch that ball is turn into an alligator.
I think to me it looks like you're about to get attacked in a self-defense training class, like 101.
Oh,
it's like very it's very simple. Like, hey, if you got attacked in an alleyway and you had your hands up in this perfect pose, you would totally be able to
You should turn into an alligator.
You should turn and then you should turn into an alligator.
Attacker go away.
And then you'll be fine. Problem solved.
And stomp the crotch. Yeah. This is so good. I think it's A tier.
Okay. Fair. Okay, the next one. What are you? Are you Jake? That's Jake. I believe.
No,
is that Tobias? That's Tobias.
That's for sure Tobias, because that's a red-tailed hawk up there.
Oh yeah, obviously that's right, because that's what he turns into exclusively for the first. Oh God, because there is a point in time where Tobias gets from the Elemist, I believe, the ability to go from red-tailed hawk to other morphs, but always has to go.
We're already past that point in time.
We are past that point?
Yeah, that's why this is, I believe, moving bird to boy is the sequence here.
Fascinating.
Yeah, that happens so early, I was shocked. I could not believe at how early that happened in the books.
You know what? In my mind, that happens super late. Because he's just always talking. Oh no, so he gets from hold on, correction. I'm actually here. So he gets the ability from Axe to morph back into a human. So he's stuck for just the first like 3 or 4 books as a red-tailed hawk and can't morph out into his form. Then he gets the ability when they meet Axe. Axe gives him the ability to morph again, and then he can morph into human, but for only 2 hours at a time. And then he's beholden to the same morph and has to go back to being a red held hawk after 2 hours as a human. Then,
I thought
way
that
later,
was the Elemist who did that.
the Elemist gives him, I think, the ability to go from one morph to another so that he can be, like, that he can go and be other things, like from one to the other or something like that.
That sounds apocryphal to me. I don't know that Axe gave him that ability. I'm pretty sure it's the Elmist because there's a big battle that's happening at one of the
because he has to time travel back to see himself to get the morph of himself. But Axe does
that's it.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Wait, how does Axe? Because does Axe have a cube? Axe doesn't have a cube.
Does Axe? I don't know. But why does it happen so early? I feel like we don't meet the Elemist until
the Elmist shows up so quick it makes your head spin.
He does sound.
How quickly.
Oh my god! For some reason the Elemist is such a like late twist to me, but I guess it's because we don't learn what the Elemist really is until very late. Maybe that's why I'm putting him later in the series. Is that like the Elemist shows up as like this sort of mystery thing?
Yeah.
Early on.
The Elemist's first appearance is in The Stranger.
Oh my god, that is
7.
so early. Oh my god, wow. Holy smokes. Yeah. Wow, my memory on that definitely puts the Elemist so late, but I think it is because we don't really learn what he is until so late. And that's why.
All right,
bonkers.
I gotta rank this.
Okay.
I gotta rank this. I think this is a C tier cover.
C tier.
There is like a kind of funny bird boy thing, but we gotta get the model for Tobias doing something other than wing pose. We just gotta.
And we don't get that for some time. He's doing a lot of wing poses. They start to do something really funny, like on these later covers for Tobias, which I think is really interesting. Then we have Marco turning into a hammerhead shark.
Fucking so good. It's so good.
The escape?
3 shifts in.
Yeah.
This is good even 4 shifts in. Because, like,
oh, yeah.
Usually it's the first 2, but, like, the 4th shift in, it's still got, like, a tiny boy arm on what is mostly a shark.
Yeah.
The escape, this is S tier for certain.
Oh my god,
I believe
love
this
that.
is when we find out about Marco's mom, too.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Brutal. We have the warning, which is Jake turning into a rhino. This one has one really good one. Yeah, one really good one. One really good
kind of okay one. I have to go B tier for this one.
Fair. Very
that
fair.
one really good one is lifting a lot.
Yeah, it's doing a lot. That middle image is a lot. We have the underground, which is Rachel turning into a bat. Which
it's so fucking good. Like the 2 Batgirl picks are great, but like the 3rd shift in, you get like a pretty big bat wearing a sweater, which is really good to me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. The bat wearing the sweater is good.
That's A tier for sure.
Love that. We have Axe turning into a mosquito. This one, again, I feel like the Axe ones, they suffer from a little bit because it's all it's all art generated. It's not like there's no model doing anything, but Axe still does a weird ass pose in the middle that I think is really funny.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna give this over to. This is gonna be A tier for me. I want to push it to S tier, but if that feels unearned, this is one of the better Axe covers that we get.
That I agree with. Yeah, for sure.
he gets those big, swollen, red, puffy eyes. That's good. That's
Yeah.
good.
Okay. This one, James, I had a poster of because it is not funny. It is just
It's
beautiful.
just beautiful. Yeah,
Yeah, this
I
is Cassie
fully
turning
agree.
into a butterfly. There's
Yeah, for
nothing
the
beautiful. There's nothing
departure.
funny about it. It's just gorgeous.
Yeah, it's just great. This is a great cover. Yeah, I'm gonna have to give this the S just
I love
because
that. This is also,
it's actually delivers on the premise of the Animorphs books, but
yeah,
does it beautifully, which is
yeah.
very hard, as we've seen.
It's very difficult to do this without it being funny. And also, it's one of the few covers that addresses, I think the other one is actually the separation, which is the Rachel Starfish one. That
Mm-hmm.
until until a ways into the series, they can't morph with clothes. And then, like,
Um,
early on, Cassie is able to figure out how to morph with, like, skin tight clothes only.
yes.
And not like having to strip all the way down just to morph. And like this is one of the few covers that acknowledges that they had to be basically wearing like Spanx in order to do this and not be naked, which
Yeah,
I think is fun.
the Animorphs is absolutely the series that taught me what bike shorts were.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, uh, definitely. Yeah, one of the things that my mom had to explain to me was so horrifying is that like for the first two books they were just fucking up their shoes really bad, and I was
Yeah.
too focused on like, oh no, they have to be naked when they morph, and mom was like, they are destroying it's so much
So
money,
many.
so much
Yeah.
money worth of
Shoes are
shoes.
so expensive. Um, the discovery is Marco turning into. Good God, what is that? What are you turning
A
into?
cobra.
A cobra.
It's a cobra.
Okay.
Um,
Sure.
Yeah, this is a good one. I think this is the B tier. Like, and it's saying something that I'm putting this in the B tier. I
Interesting.
think Marco hits harder than almost everybody else. Like in these, there's something about the model for Marco and how
Yeah, he's doing a good
90s
job.
he dresses. Uh, he's just doing stellar work.
Yeah, I
Making
agree.
these a delight, an absolute delight to see.
I agree. I agree. We've got Jake turning into Homer, which I didn't have a dog growing up, but I wanted one, and I would have named it Homer, had I had a dog. Um,
And this brings up a point. One of the things that I loved about Applegate's writing is how much is like, oh yeah, dogs are just fucking thrilled. They
they're
are
thrilled all the time, so happy to
turning
be
into a
there.
dog is antidepressants.
Yeah. So happy to know you, so happy to be there. It's great. Um,
um, this
yeah.
is okay. I would say this is B.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's kind of I would even put that in C. It's kind of just it's so middling.
I they like it is kind of middle of the road, but it's like good. There are at least two good images on this. It's
Yeah.
just Expose isn't doing much,
Yeah.
and the dog is just the dog. Um,
We've got Rachel turning
Fucking
into a rat in the solution,
yeah,
and this
yeah.
one's got a
That would be a
good.
mouse. I
Oh,
believe
it's
that's
a
a
mouse.
mouse.
You're right, it is a
I think
mouse.
it might be a rat in the fiction, um,
But the
because
cover
this is
image is
the
for
David
sure a
book.
mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
But that's
Gosh,
we've
this is
got
S
three
S
good.
S. We've got
Yeah.
three good, and
Three.
again, I don't know what the model is thinking now.
No,
The model is like,
definitely wasn't
did
told
I
you're turning into a rat for sure.
did I do my homework today? Or
Yeah.
do I have to like turn in that assignment tomorrow or the day after?
Yeah. Yeah.
Meanwhile, you get like a full-on Cunty Stuart Little at the bottom here.
The Cunty Stuart Little is my favorite part for sure. I
Just
like
got
that
this
so
swoop.
much.
Yeah, it's all so good.
Yeah. Okay, I think it's is it the Entertainer? This is Tobias as a hawk turning into a rabbit. And what's I think important about this one is that they have a ghost of Tobias's human form in the background just to remind you that
the same image of his human form from his first cover as well. So they're not bringing that model in for another sesh on that one.
But to be clear, it's the hawk turning into a rabbit. But Tobias's ghost is there.
This is cute. I gotta give it a B. I think it's one of the better Tobias covers that we're gonna get.
Sure.
I kind of want to reward that.
Yeah, that's fair. We've got Cassie turning into an anteater in the Suspicion.
Wow. Anytime it's an animal with a longer nose, you know you're gonna get some
you're
good
in for a good
images.
time. It's pretty great.
Yeah, let's we're going A on that. That's an A.
Okay. All right, that's a fair A. Okay. So in the extreme, we have I think it's Jake turning into a polar bear. No, it's
I believe that's Marco.
Marco turning into a polar bear. I feel like this one's middling all around, but the middle is so much.
There are more than one memeable face here, which I guess just goes to show how strong Marco's collection is.
Yeah.
God, Marco head to toe in Land's End and LL Bean here.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I need to give this a C just because for a Marco, it's not that strong.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, for the attack, we have Jake turning into a tiger.
This is interesting. This is one of the few where I think the image that's doing the most work is actually just the picture of the tiger. This is a weird looking tiger.
This is a weird looking tiger. Is that like what is up with this tiger? Why is it like that?
This is like
we've been asking a lot, why are the kids posing that way? Why is this tiger posing this way?
This it looks like a Pliny the Elder ass, like somebody who saw a tiger described a tiger to somebody who could paint, and that's what they ended up with.
Yep.
I am so chagrined that I have to give this a B because if the Jake pictures were bringing it more, this would be S tier because of that tiger. But like the other middle pictures are just really not doing much.
No, the Jake's model was told you're heading back to school. Is what he was told, I think. It's first day of sophomore year. We have the Exposed, which is Rachel turning into a squid. Vic Michaelis fans will be familiar with this little masterpiece.
S.
Absolutely. For the Vic Michaelis girlies, in the Exposed, they go underwater, obviously, but they get trapped in a game show, with a malicious host, which is fun. Fun little reference by our beloved. We have the Experiment, which is Axe turning into a cow, which...
Yeah, and this one is also crazy. This book is a romp. I'm gonna give this... You know what? There are certain allowances that we're making here. I'm bringing this to S because I think this is Axe's best shot at S.
Okay.
He becomes a very sassy cow.
He does become a very sassy cow. That's for sure. We have Cassie turning into a yerk in the sickness. Oh my god. Turning into a yerk blew my fucking mind. I was like, oh, they can do anything.
I was waiting for that one. I knew it was gonna pop, and I knew it was gonna be terrifying. to be.
Oh my god. And it was. Oh my god. Just terrible. But it had to be Cassie because it had to be
The best morpher, yeah.
The best morpher and the empathy character.
Sure.
The one who could retain her humanity the strongest out of anyone. Fucking girl. But also that middle morph. Look at that guy.
Oh, it's so good. It's A, man.
It's A. All right.
You can't go anywhere but A.
It's A. And then we've got Marco as the cockroach. Another classic. K.A. Applegate told me something about bugs, and I believed it wholesale. Yeah.
That little
yeah. A little pouty face.
Fuck. It's really good. It's really, really good. I'm going A again. A again.
My God.
Most of these are going to be A, and that's just to...
Yeah, this is a top heavy tier list. For sure. We've got
Conspiracy.
Jake. The conspiracy.
It looks like Jake. I think it's meant to be Tobias because it is once again turning into a red-tailed hawk.
See, but they take turns being narrators, and the next one is Tobias, I believe, because we have the ghost of Tobias again in the illusion. But you know what? I'm second guessing myself on this. I don't know.
I'm just looking it up so I can know.
Yeah, find out who's the narrator of that one.
Gotta navigate over to Seropedia.
Seropedia. My place. Did you ever play the video game?
This is a Jake book.
It is a Jake book. Ha. Got it.
All right, yeah, that I was gonna say, like, yeah, that really does look like Jake. There's some good ones here.
Yeah.
There's some really good ones. You know what? I'm giving it to Jake. This is Jake's S tier for sure. This must be.
Whoa, Jake. Welcome to the winner's circle.
Those
Jake.
little bird boys in there.
Yeah, it is your first time here in the winner's circle, and welcome. In the illusion, we have another ghost of Tobias, where now he is turning from a red-tailed hawk into an Andalite, which is cool. By now, I think we must have learned his lineage.
Yes.
That he is distantly related to Elfangor.
Yeah, the Andalite Chronicles
had come out by now.
Earlier than this, yeah, for sure.
Yep.
I gotta give it a C tier.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. The Prophecy, Cassie turning into the Hork-Bajir.
Here we go.
This shit.
Yeah.
Hork-Bajir Chronicles, my favorite of the Chronicles.
Oh my god, devastating.
Devastating.
So devastating.
Ugh. Oh my god. Finding out that
Visser
they are
3
just
as a villain is so goddamn enjoyable.
Visser 3 as a villain is so goddamn enjoyable because when you learn more about him, he's like we meet him and he's like the evilest guy we've ever heard of, and he's like being such an absolute warmongering villain. And then we learn more about him, and he is like average. He is like not even the coolest general in his own goddamn army. And he's just so pathetic compared to Visser 1 and compared to like all of the others that have come before him. And it's just like, oh man, you just have a complex.
He's the one who's most committed to being a villain.
Yeah.
Like, he cackles, he chews scenery, he does evil things for evil's sake.
He does chew scenery so well.
He doesn't even have a Hork-Bajir morph, and he just chews on the scenery.
Yeah.
This is another S tier for Cassie.
I
Look
agree.
Look
I
at
agree.
that.
I agree. I can't argue with that at all. The proposal, Marco turning into a poodle. Funny. But
I think one of the best parts of this cover is that you look at that model for the first time. He 100% was being told that he's turning into a poodle.
He knew. He knew. Was he
Fully
happy?
knows.
Was he happy about it?
No.
No.
No, they told him right as they took the picture.
Yeah.
It's a B tier for Marco, but this is so good.
Yeah, it's good for us. It's good for us. We have, I think, I'm pretty sure it's Jake turning into a killer whale in the mutation.
Yeah, this is a C.
Yeah, pretty
There's
meh.
nothing.
Considering whale, you would think would give us some really funny bits, but it doesn't.
Well, it's technically a type of dolphin. So.
Yeah. The weakness is Rachel turning into, I think now this is a cheetah. Would you say?
Yes, that is definitely a cheetah.
There we go. Okay, cheetah's in there somewhere.
Thick cheetah too. This cheetah is a little bit chunkier than like a cheetah would be.
It's a well-fed
This is like a
zoo
cheetah with like a jaguar's proportions.
Yeah.
I do think the model's face expression on this one is funny. It's very funny.
I agree.
The Rachel model looks so much older than the other kids.
I mean, by this point in the series, they are like graduating high school.
What? No.
Or like
they never get
like,
that old.
They do. They get to senior year, I'm pretty sure.
No, they don't.
No?
I think they get to 15, maybe 16 max. How old are the Animorphs?
At the end of the series, are they not?
Yeah. The time moves quick. I think like it's like 2 years or so. Oh, yeah, they're 16 years old.
They're 16.
They start it. Yeah. Oh,
no, to be fair,
that's the AI overview.
Yeah, wait, watch out. Watch out for that. Because I could have sworn they were like 17.
They're 16 in the final book.
In the final book, wow.
But
right.
at the time skip, they're 19.
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
okay.
like the thing about the Animorphs is they are deeply tragic child soldiers. There's no ambiguity about that. KA pulled no punches.
No, yeah. All right.
Yeah. So I have to give this is a D tier. I'm sorry. There's
okay.
nothing.
Hey, don't apologize to me.
Even that thick cheetah's doing some work, but nothing else.
Fuck.
Oh
the
my
Arrival.
god. This is another S tier for Axe. Holy shit.
Aximile
Another
turning
S-tier
into
for
a hog.
Axe.
I know. Excellent. The pose. The pose does so much.
The pose is doing so much. The facial expression is doing a lot.
Yeah.
The hawk's facial expression
the
is
hawk
funny,
is doing a
lot.
lot. Yeah. All right. What do you think about the hidden?
Fuck.
With Cassie turning into a bison?
Yeah, buddy.
First of all, that pose. Look at her. She was
Sassy.
told you're turning into a bison. By now the kids knew what they were showing up for these.
Yeah. Gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. Fucking the tagline for this book, to morph or not to morph. That is the question. It's always morph.
It's always morph.
S tier. Absolutely.
Cassie, back where you belong. We have. Is this Marco? Is this Marco turning into a wasp?
Yep. And
I guess a
the
wasp?
model is so over it. Look at that face.
So over it.
He's
the
not
wasp
having it.
was really phoned in, I think, too. to be honest.
Yeah. This is a C for Marco. No, this is D for Marco.
Oh, wow.
For
Okay.
Marco, this is D.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now, genuinely, the familiar is Jake turning into a guy? I don't remember what this is, actually.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I don't remember this either.
Jake turning
this
into
is
a
maybe
man.
our only F tier cover because it's just person to person.
It's person to person. Yeah.
You get like the middle section of this is like boy band figures and like Disney Channel actors. Like
it does. It
all
looks
in
like
there.
yeah, it looks like a fan fiction kind of reimagining of something. It doesn't. Yeah.
I've seen the second to last guy on an episode of Boy Meets World. I'm certain of it.
For sure. The journey, we finally get Rachel turning into an elephant.
Yes.
Which is gorgeous. Tiny Rachel turning into big elephant.
And this elephant girl face is really good.
Yeah.
That's A. Just for that,
A.
that's A.
Okay. All right. Fantastic.
Holy shit.
What am I?
So it's Tobias turning into taxons?
Is that what they're called?
Yeah, I think it's a taxon.
Yeah. Wow. Oh my God.
And the model for Tobias that's just not him.
That's just not the Tobias we've ever seen before.
It's just straight up a different kid.
Different kid. But he's coming back. We're getting him for the rest of the series, this new model. They just straight up swapped out and gave us a new Tobias like we wouldn't notice.
But you know what happened, don't you?
One.
The first model, he turned into a bird.
I'll kill you with a gun.
S tier. Look at the fucking middle image here.
Oh my God.
The freaking bird taxon
this is
with 5 eyes.
Oh
yeah,
my
baby.
Goodness. Where did I put that? I just dropped it somewhere because I lost control. I lost control of my life.
You have no control. You are merely the instrument of my will here.
Well, but the thing is, where did it go? Where is he? If anybody knows where I dropped that thing, we'll find it. But we know that it belongs in S tier. We've got Cassie turning into kangaroo. Fascinating. The unexpected, I think.
Yeah, I feel for Cassie this is like a C. Cassie's had better. There are some genuinely good moments in there, but
they're not
again,
they're not
Cassie's
standing out. Yeah, I agree. We've got Marco turning into what is that?
Termite maybe?
A
termite? It's either an ant or a termite.
Termite maybe, because we had ants, I think, at some point. But yeah, I think that might be a termite. Yeah. We got more good posing.
More good posing. For a Marco showing, I think this is C, you know.
Yeah. I agree. I like that we've taken to categorizing it by comparing to others by the same character.
Yeah, you like otherwise like Axe and Tobias are just fucked through the whole way, you know? Like and they deserve better.
Yeah. This is another Axe one. What the fuck is he turning into?
A pilot? Like
Yeah.
Yeah. So this has so much potential, especially because you get weird centaur guy in the middle.
Yeah. A lot of potential
but,
for sure.
Like ultimately I think it's not doing anything. It's a C.
Wow, that's honestly, I think that's even generous.
Mm.
Oh, Jake is a beaver though. Jake
Jake
is
is
a
so
beaver.
sad to be a beaver.
So sad to be a
this,
beaver. And the beaver's not happy either. I think
yeah. Oh, that's A, baby. That
that's
is
a.
A.
I agree. I agree with you there. Um, the return. So, the return.
So this is Rachel turning into, I can't remember the name of this X-Men character.
Yeah. Yeah.
She fought Wolverine in X2.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It's funny.
Um, I'm gonna go with a C.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's fine. That's fine by me. We've got our recast Tobias turning into a Doberman.
Yeah. Well, that's actually a German Shepherd.
Oh, German
Um,
Shepherd. Sorry.
the
I don't know
record.
my cats or my dogs. None of them.
This is A.
Okay. Spectacular. In the ultimate, we have Cassie turning into an what is that, an owl?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's another A, actually.
We love it. We love A. Okay. We're so nearly there. We've got Marco turning into good
A
lord.
mallard duck.
A mallard duck. That's what that is. My God. Okay.
I think it's a C, especially
Yeah.
for Marco.
Yeah. Especially for Marco.
We know he's capable of so much more if he just applies himself.
If he just applies himself. We've got Axe turning into a raccoon in the sacrifice.
Okay. Huh. Huh.
Huh. Huh, indeed.
I love raccoons. I love
I do too.
raccoons.
Do you know what my favorite thing about raccoons is?
Please tell me.
Is when they're trying to manipulate humans and they do this little.
And they what?
They do this little please thing with their hands.
Oh, they're well, yeah.
Oh, that one's cute too, but I like it when they rub their hands together in the like little like. Have you ever
Oh,
seen
they
them
do that to try and manipulate humans? That's your
Yeah.
read on that one?
And they're like,
I think they're scheming. I think they're just straight
You think
scheming.
they're planning a heist?
Yeah. Why would they be wearing those little masks, Dylan? It's D tier. I wish this union was more blessed than it is.
Yeah. The answer, we have Jake turning into a snake.
Take the snake.
Jake the snake.
Very funny. Oh wow.
Mildly funny.
B.
B. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Are we coming away from the morph covers with one F tier? One only. And it is human to human. And I think that is
Human to
that's
human.
right. Human to human is the only F tier. We're pretty top heavy, but you were I think you were fair. I think you were fair and just.
I was absolutely fair and just. There's no
goodness
question
gracious.
about that.
Yeah. Yeah. You did well, I believe. We do have the beginning, but the beginning is not there's no morph really. It is just Andalite face and all the kids' faces stacked behind it. And then the Chronicles and the Choose Your Own Adventures and
Well, let's talk about the Chronicles.
Let's talk about the Chronicles.
Yeah, we're obviously using different criteria for these.
Okay. Okay.
But they were cool.
They were
the Andalite
absolutely
Chronicles.
cool.
What a fucking badass picture.
Oh, great cover. Great cover for the
Yeah.
Andalite Chronicles. Certainly, certainly not my favorite chronicle. Um,
Sure.
yeah,
I
but
liked. I mean, I liked it. The moment where Elfangor was like briefly horrified that humans wear clothes
oh, always
was
good.
so good.
Always good. Anything where Andalite learns about humans was always pretty good. Um,
Also, here's a great thing that I really only ever got to appreciate through listening to Morphin Club. Uh, was throughout the book, Elfangor is just so obsessed with how buff the human lady that he's hanging out with is.
yeah,
Like, which is, you know, a reason that I am chagrined about like the ultimate portrayal of Andalites on the covers, because they should be so much more slight than they are.
yes,
Because he's looking at this human woman going, she is the strongest, most powerful creature I've ever seen in my entire life.
yeah,
And I love him for that.
yeah. I do. I respect that. I respect that very much.
So that's A tier
A
for
tier.
sure.
All right, I'll do it. I'll put it in A tier for you. We've got the Elemist Chronicles. Elemist Chronicles to me was a slow read, but probably one of the most important like pieces of fiction that I read in my young life. But it was, but like I kind of, I remember like slogging through it a bit, but then being like, at the end, being like, wow, that's changed my life.
That's changed your life.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know that like so the Elmas Chronicles is one that I never actually got to read when it came out. I only experienced this one through
Through the
the Morphin
podcast.
Club podcast.
Oh, fascinating.
Which I one of the uh great moments for me as I was like live tweeting this podcast as I was listening to it, and I you find out that the Elemist is a gamer, like
Yeah.
that's kind of his identity.
Yeah.
And I was like, he should be sent to a special jail for gamers, because I was definitely feeling very low on gamers. And shortly thereafter, he was sent to a special jail just for gamers.
Yeah.
So kind of got everything I wanted, horribly.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, a really trippy thing to be in this series. One of the things that I love about the Animorphs is how grounded it is, and also how trippy and out there it is simultaneously.
Oh, quite. Yeah, yeah. It does. And the Chronicles are, I think, the best place where they really like venture and explore all the freakiest stuff in the universe that she's created. Um in a really fun way. But yeah. And look at that little freak. Look at him.
Yeah.
That's a gamer.
I mean, I gotta give it a B because he's a gamer.
Okay, fair. Um
I don't know that's
Hork-Gier
fair, but
Chronicles,
that's the
James.
decision I've made. S tier, S tier,
S tier. S tier. Both for book and for cover.
Yeah.
God, that they're both so hot. They're both so hot. I had seen Hork-Bajir in my mind and on these covers so many times before. I saw that Hork-Bajir and I went, yeah, yeah. I could learn to climb trees. I that's a hot fucking Hork-Bajir. Visser Chronicles. This is where
Oh God, I forgot about Visser.
and I believe the Visser Chronicles, I can't remember. It might be the Visser Chronicles. It might be the Andalite Chronicles. In one of those is where we learn that the reason that the Yerks and the Andalites have this this blood feud is because the Yerks asked the Andalites in like a peaceful treaty. We're like, hey, we are defenseless slugs. You have the ability to turn into anything you want. Can you please share that with us? We have nothing. And the Andalites flat out said, no, that's ours. We're not gonna let you do that at all. And that is like the origin for the Yerks being like, these guys.
Well, I
For
mean,
real.
it is kind of coupled with Zero going down and being like, well, let's get you interplanetary travel and whatnot, and then kind of finding out, oh, the Geds are deeply unhappy with being possessed.
Yeah. They're like, well, we wouldn't have
The-
to possess people to have bodies if we could just morph into things and we could, like, stay that way. And the Andalites are like,
It's
nah,
it's so complicated. Like
it is
Andalite
complicated.
morality is wild. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got my
Oh, yeah. But the
gripes with
fact that
their.
it was complicated was so fascinating to me and mind-breaking to me as a young person that I was like, Yerks are evil, Andalites good. And that's how the world works. And nope. Everybody made some crazy ass bad decisions. Yeah. All right. So the cover of the Visser Chronicles, or actually Visser, it's just Visser. It's not the Visser Chronicles. It's just Visser.
Yeah. Hang on, I'm trying to find a larger version of it. Oh, he's so cunty on this though.
He's very cunty. Yeah. The backlight is such a choice.
Oh god, and the I'm gonna give this. This is A.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I forgot that this is also holofoil.
Oh, it is holofoil. Yeah. Oh, spectacular. Look at that. All right, I'm gonna.
I think we've done what we needed to do.
We did absolutely what we needed to do. I'm saving this. We'll pop the large version of this on the Patreon
socials.
and social media so that everybody can see it in all of its glory. James, what would you think about taking a little break before we jump into the next one?
I would love to take a little tiny break. We will be right back to see you soon to talk about our next tier list.
Yo.
I'll be right. Yep. See you in a few. Hello. Yep, I'm just gonna post another promo here. And let's see. I need to. Dave had arranged his windows.
Oh, shabam. There we go.
Hello, heroes.
Hi, we're back. With what, James?
With what we are gonna rank international breakfasts. Dylan,
Oh.
you and I recently had a conversation
Yeah.
about what you think
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
best breakfast is, which
Yeah.
was a full English,
Yes.
according to you,
Greatest breakfast
which
in the world.
is one of the most horrifying choices I could imagine. And the thing is, like, whenever we're ranking breakfasts, I think it's very easy for people to get caught up in, like, well, I'm just comparing one type of breakfast to the type of breakfasts that I know. So, like, obviously, you prefer the full English to the American lumberjack or any of the other U.S.-based breakfasts that are within, reach of you. But whenever we get to, like, kind of a global tier, I think most European breakfasts and Western breakfasts get their asses so completely kicked. So I want to take your bad opinion and see if we can subject it to a global perspective and maybe have that help us come to some sort of resolution.
Yeah. I will. Okay. So as a disclaimer, I will say that I'm not very well traveled. So I have not been to a lot of places. I have not had a lot of the breakfasts represented here. But
That's okay. I'm so confident in the rest of the world's cuisine being better than Britain's, that I think merely describing these meals to you and you seeing the tiny little image of those meals that you get
mm-hmm,
in the tier list maker
yeah.
will be enough for you to go, okay, well that is better than a full English. And so what we're gonna do here is you're gonna rank full English
Okay.
last. That's gonna be the last one.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so if you put it higher, you're gonna have to really acknowledge every single thing you try to put above it.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. Fantastic. All right. So where do you want me to start then? If you want me to do full English last, where would you like me to begin?
Let's start with the what is this? So I cannot see your screen
Oh, the
as
Central
well.
African.
Yeah, let's start with Central African here.
Okay. All right. What am I
I
looking at for
will.
Central Africa?
So Central African is wake. It is a popular Ghanaian dish made
Mm-hmm.
with rice and beans, often cooked with sorghum leaves, also known as wake leaves. It's served with
Okay.
plantains, noodles, and occasionally meat skewers.
Okay. Fantastic. So there's a lot of things I like here, like meat skewers, like rice and beans being a breakfast food. Love that. I think that's something that we do not do enough here. Um, uh, I think that's great. Um, I I think plantains are one of the grossest things in the world. So that's going to really pull it down, unfortunately. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, plantains are, well, I will say this too, bananas and all banana like things are a
Hmm.
textural nightmare for me. Um,
Oh,
and
interesting.
and very specifically plantains being as sweet as they are really takes the banana hate to a new level.
And Dylan's very much not a sweetness guy,
Yeah,
so like these rankings are gonna be strained for some cultures, and there are some like
yeah.
the the methodology for putting this together is a little wild because like you can't say, oh, this is Chinese breakfast because there are 1,000 different
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
regions.
of course.
So I tried to make the countries that are larger with higher populations give them a couple regions, and certainly to the places where I
Yeah,
knew a little bit more about them. There are some places that I'm just like, consider this dish rather than
yeah,
whatever their full spread would be,
sure.
because it was hard to Google. If you are from one of these cultures or one of the cultures that's underrepresented, just know that your stuff is great. Um, and that we live in an AI poisoned nightmare that makes it really hard to
Hard to
find
Google
any
shit anymore?
actual information. Yeah.
Yeah, Googling is not a thing anymore. All right, so I'm gonna say because rice, beans, savory, like meats and stuff, high, plantains really low. Um, I'm gonna kind of put this. Oh, I like what you've done with the tiers here.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna put this right in the middle because I feel like there are two ends of this. A couple of things that I really really love and one thing that I really really hate. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
put that
Wouldn't
straight in
turn it
the
down.
middle.
Exactly. You might not clean the plate, but like there's
Yeah,
stuff there that's
yeah,
bringing you
yeah,
there. What do we have next up there?
yeah. This
You.
is Venezuelan. It looks like.
Oh,
Oh, it does
yes.
look like a little
Okay. So
pocket, which I like.
yeah,
Love a
this is
pocket.
Colombian and Venezuelan, and I am gonna murder pronunciation of so much food here.
Okay.
This is the arepa. It is a
Oh,
type of flatbread
yeah.
made from ground maize, popular in Northern and South American, particularly Colombia and Venezuela.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they can be eaten plain, but they're often topped with various ingredients or even sliced open and stuffed with fillings.
Yeah.
You might run into cheeses like mozzarella, shredded chicken, black beans, shredded beef, avocado, and occasionally plantains.
Yeah.
So,
But
Dylan.
I will say this is going to be one of the things, one of the rare things on this list that I have actually had. And I am a fan. I love it because it's just a delicious, um, like maize flatbread filled with things. I'm gonna put that in A. Easy, easy.
All right. All
Mm-hmm.
right. Next up,
Yes, we've got kongi.
yes, kanji or jok if you are
Okay.
Korean. This is a savory rice porridge. This is often served on
Okay.
its own. However, it can be zhuzhed up with light vegetables and sauces. This is common really in a lot of places.
Yeah.
Obviously, Korea, because Korea has their own name for it. But you'll find this in Thailand. You'll find this in a lot of different regions in China. Congee is like popular so
Yeah.
many places. A very efficient breakfast food, I will
Yeah.
say.
I like I do. I'm a big fan of porridges of all kinds. I like that. Um and I like it's only served on its own if you're my mother and like to eat plain things. That's very fair. I'm I think that's like really what makes or breaks this, but I like the fact that porridge, one of the things I like about porridge is that it's such a customizable thing. It's like it can be fine on its own and then you can just like add different things to it. I'm gonna put porridge in B for sure.
Yeah, I'll
Easy.
say to the chat, it's served on its own if you are a Western guest at a hotel in an Eastern country and you don't know what you're doing, and you don't
Fair.
know what should I be combining with my congee.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I, having mostly had it on its own, I think it's pretty good. Uh,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
but we've got more. What's next?
We've got Cantonese dim sum. We've got
Okay, here
yeah.
we go.
Yeah.
Dim sum, baby.
Yeah.
So breakfast dim sum. Dim sum is a meal that can be like it fills a brunchy spot. So can be breakfast, can be later in the day. Um, there's a spread of what can be available, but like that's the point of dim sum is it's a spread, baby.
It's a spread. Yeah, no, I one, okay. So I do want to give some context to my breakfast opinions as well because one, I think that we are in in the West very limited in our idea of what breakfast is. Like
Absolutely.
even like a lumberjack breakfast is a thing that like most people aren't eating on a on a regular basis for breakfast. Like people like here like breakfast is such a like it's such a grain heavy like staple
Yeah, and we'll
here,
talk about that
and we
because
can
that
talk about
is
that.
fucked.
Like versus where like when I like okay so like when I stayed in hotels in Europe, like coming across the makings of a full English was typical. I stay in hotels out here in America all the time, and like the things that you're going to be offered for the same kind of consolation is like a
It's a
couple of
continental.
pastries and a couple of hard boiled eggs, and that is like that's where like I'm just like man and like cereal and shit like that, and that's like
Sure.
a bummer. And so dim sum for uh for breakfast, I'm absolutely putting that S tier. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy S
Yeah.
tier for me. We've got
Um,
East Indian.
East Indian. East Indian. This is Shira Doi Am. This is a simple no-cook dish from West Bengal and other eastern states, combining flattened rice with yogurt, mango, banana, and rosogola.
Okay. So we've got a lot of sweets. We've got a lot of sugars
Vidya,
here.
please come at me. Fix those
Vinny
pronunciations.
is watching I don't know, mechs kiss each other in the other room. I can't
Oh,
guess
sure, sure, sure,
what
sure.
he's up to. Um but that just like lots of fruit, especially like fruit as like a significant part of a meal pretty low for me. Um, but again, I do love rice as a breakfast food, especially like flattened rice or like grilled rice bits. So I think I'm gonna put that in B.
The combination
Yeah.
of rice and yogurt to me makes it so like the fruit is just going to be a delicious little pop
Oh, I
somewhere in
forgot
this
that you
meal.
said yogurt, and I hate yogurt.
Oh,
I really hate yogurt too.
only
We
in certain
might,
situations,
yeah.
you know.
We might have moved it down. I don't like yogurt. I don't like yogurt. I don't like fruit. So that's gonna be bad for me. We have El Salvador next,
El
which
Salvador.
I'm guessing is gonna be one I like if just
Yeah, this is
a brief glance.
papusa de queso. It's a variety of El Salvadoran cheese papusa, a thick corn tortilla that
Yep.
oozes with a mixture of gooey cheese and finely chopped loroco flower buds.
A
Uh,
easy
yeah,
easy A.
yep. It's
Yeah.
gorgeous. I got so hungry
Yeah.
reading this list.
Yeah. Chat, my opinions on mochi is I actually love mochi. I like it a lot.
Mochi's great.
Yeah, it's you know what, slimy is not the texture that I hate when we're talking about like
I
plantains.
wouldn't even call mochi slimy.
It is. Oh, for sure it is. It's a delicious kind
Mochi
of slime.
slimy?
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's
It's got
often served powdered.
because it oh, but not the as but it's there's a film like between like the Syntax, you know what I'm talking about. It's like there's a bit between the inside and the outside that is slimy, but it's a good slimy.
I wouldn't call it slimy.
Yeah.
There are things that I would call slimy. Like a lychee nut is slimy.
Sure.
Uh,
It's a different
fucking
kind of
okra is
slime.
slimy.
Oh, that's
I
my
would
favorite
consider it very
vegetable on the
tacky,
planet.
very chewy,
Mm. Okra fans.
gummy, perhaps.
Um,
Shocking.
we've
Shocking
got
word to associate with mochi.
we've got French up next, and
Okay.
you know what? I want you to describe, but I'm just gonna go ahead and put
Yeah.
that.
So
in D.
French is a pastry heavy breakfast.
Boo.
Let me
Boo.
find it here. Yeah.
My least favorite things in the world.
This also carries like Belgian and Spanish breakfasts all kind of muddle in the same area.
Yeah.
There is a bread, perhaps sweet pastries with fruit and yogurt. So
Yeah.
it's very light, very sweet.
Yeah.
And since we know Dylan is not a sweet breakfast boy, like that's an easy call there.
It's not just sweets, it's sweets and carbohydrate heavy breakfast is literally that is my nightmare. I'm going to feel awful all day. I'm going to have the shakes in the afternoon. I also am not going to enjoy it because it's just a sugar breakfast. Hate.
Sure.
Hate that.
Sure.
That is the last thing I want. We've got German up next, which I'm going to hear your description, but I feel like I'm pretty confident I might like. I don't really know much about what Germans eat for breakfast, but I'm curious
so German,
what you're going to
a
say.
lot of cold cuts of meat. Thin slices of meat with cheeses and spreads, usually jams, and served with breads and occasionally pastries, but they are not sweet pastries. These would be a savory pastry experience.
Fascinating. Okay. Wow, more complicated than I thought because you know what? In my mind, I was thinking a German breakfast might be more savory than that, but
that is deeply savory. There's so little sweetness there. The jams you should be thinking more on the tart end of the flavor profile than strictly sweet.
Yeah, I think it's the cold cuts that are throwing me just slightly, but. I do generally, that sounds like something pretty good to me, like pretty fine. I think this is going in the like wouldn't turn it down kind of arena. Yeah. We've got Guatemalan and this is another one that am familiar with at least a little bit, but I want to hear because I know you have a
Yeah.
document.
So this
So I
is
want
a
to hear your.
specific Guatemalan because, like,
Okay.
again, like I was trying to get Central
Sure.
American. Like I wanted to go to a couple different places because there are so many different culinary
Yeah.
traditions. So this is not the
Yeah.
entire Guatemalan tradition, just because it was hard to, with things like the full English or the lumberjack. That is a distinctive breakfast made out of several small components. Where a lot of these are like, I don't know, you might do this or do this. The idea that you'd be served both is like kind of wild. So this is
Sure.
just chuchito.
Okay.
Chuchitos are a traditional Guatemalan style tamale that can be, are more like celebration foods.
Mm.
But they it means apparently small dog or puppy. It consists of warm corn masa dough stuffed with succulent pieces of meat such as pork, chicken, with a mild tomato or chili sauce.
I'm only
Gorgeous.
giving this an A and not an S because I I love tamales so much. I love tamales, and I the only reason that a lot of these foods, because again, I will repeat, I am very poorly traveled. I have not had the privilege to travel for most of my life, but I do live in New York, and I have a very privileged existence just based on that. And so there are some of these things that I have had the privilege to have. Um, love a breakfast tamale. Uh, they tend to be spicier than what I can eat, and that is the only reason that I will
Oh,
A
I
tier it
see.
instead of S tier it because I am also deficient in that way. I'm deeply deficient in that way. Yeah,
Totally understandable. Yeah.
yeah,
I can understand respecting. I could get burned on this. That
yeah.
makes total sense.
And that is a me failing, not ever uh a tamale failing. We're at Honduras.
Honduras. Okay. This is the baleda. It is a dish consisting of thick wheat flour tortillas filled with mashed fried beans and optionally
Mm,
various other ingredients such as cheese, eggs, avocado, or hot sauce.
yeah, yeah,
A
yeah, yeah.
Honduran style sour cream, known as mantequilla, is served with it as well.
Yeah, I am. This is curious because that's all things I like. I love that,
Mhm.
especially in a breakfast. I love a savory breakfast, if that's not been clear. I love a super savory breakfast. I love beans, and I love refried beans, especially very much so. I think the uh, it's a little on the simpler side, and I think that my only thing I'm putting it in B instead of A is because wheat tortillas kind of take a backseat to corn tortillas for me, flavor
Okay,
wise.
okay, that's fair.
Uh, but it's
I
it
think
it
it,
could
it
be A or
truly
B.
depends on how it's prepared. I think texture wise, in certain dishes, the flour tortilla, like
Yeah,
you're going with that for a reason because you want it soft. And especially for breakfast, I love having a really soft tortilla
oh
to
yeah,
start my day.
yeah. I just love the flavor of and also the texture of corn tortillas. That's so good. We've got North Indian next. Pratha.
Northern India. These are parathas, often filled with potatoes and cheeses. It is a type of bread.
Now, okay, I will say, normally I am against a very like grain forward or like carbohydrate forward breakfast food.
Hmm.
This is an exception. This is an exception that's going to A.
Yeah.
Love, love, love. Oh, and just you know what? My love of cheese does override my dislike of a lot of other things. So that's able to win back a lot of energy for me.
Cheese really. I mean, I've got challenging cheeses for you on this list. We'll get there.
Yeah, yeah. Um, okay, we have Iranian next, which
Ah,
I again want to
yes.
hear your description of, but I do have a strong opinion.
This is barbari bread.
Hmm.
It is bread served with cheese, nuts, fruits, and veggies. It's just gorgeous.
It is gorgeous. I love, and this is very similar. Iranian food is very similar to a lot of Armenian food. There's a lot of things in common here, uh, and I like a lot. Um, don't love it for breakfast. This is my ideal lunch, is like a plate
Interesting.
of pickins. That's my favorite thing about my grandmother's house growing up, was that like a lot of meals were just like, here's a plate of pickins for you. There's a and
Sure.
that is what I like a lot. But for breakfast, not as much. I'm gonna put this in a C. Just in a C. I still like it,
Fair.
but yeah, I want like a little bit of meal to my breakfast.
Fair enough.
Um we've got Naples next.
Ah, yes. Okay. So, Italy got three. I went through different regions, and it's just because I know a little bit more
You
about
know more
Italy than
about
I know
Italy?
about the rest of the
Okay.
world.
Yeah.
Um, but I would not know how to pronounce Softagliatelle. Is a shell-shaped pastry filled with sweet ricotta cheese, um, and semolina filling, often flavored with orange or lemon. So this is
You've
a cheese. It's a sweet cheese, though.
you've said every single one of my trigger words. It's gone. I'm skipping it. I'm not.
Wow.
I will take a bite to be polite, maybe. That is
I'll bet
not
you take
happening.
a bite to have your mind fucking changed. I'll bet. I'll bet it's. Bet it wins you over
For
because a
breakfast?
sweet.
Now, here's the thing. For breakfast, absolutely not. If it's like the middle of the day, evening, I'll take a bite of that and maybe I'll be okay. But a sweet, all right. So like, this is the thing. This is the thing, James. A sweet thing. I'm not a sweets person normally, but there are like times in the day where like a sweet thing can be a little bit good to me. Right when I wake up, when I'm having my first meal of the day, that is not the flavor I want. I need
My
protein.
suspicion is the level of sweetness that is in this cheese is not the level that like most U.S. breakfast foods are.
Oh, and I I
So
I,
I'll
I can
bet you would
guarantee
take
you're
a bite.
right.
You would take a bite, and I don't think it would be down at D tier for you, but you can never know. If only Italy
Sicily.
were a real place.
Give me Sicily. Give me let's get
All
let's
right.
get out of Italy.
So Sicily, this is again, this is gonna be another sweet one. Uh,
No kidding. Yeah.
Granita and briosia. Granita is a semi-frozen dessert made from water, sugar, and flavorings that are usually fruit, teamed up with a brioche pastry.
Okay. I mean, of
So
the
this is
pastries,
like
I don't hate a brioche pastry. That's delicious, but to fill it with all of that is
but the pastry
is
is not filled with that. It is served
it's
alongside that.
paired with that.
So they will give you more or less a cup of sorbet and like a little biscuit.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Am I an infant? Am I a child? Do I need my cookies and milk for breakfast? Come on. That's so gross. That's so gross. I'm an adult. I need to go to work. I got paid. I need protein. I need fuel for the day. I'm not. Come on. Gross.
All right. Well, we'll get to our last Italian here.
All right, this looks promising though.
Yeah, this is Liguarian, or the Ligma region of Italy. Um, and it is a focaccia bread. Um,
Great.
just bread with vegetables in it, flat bread, obviously. Usually also accompanied with cheese. It's just a drier pizza.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a drier pizza. I do not want to offend because I do like focaccia bread, generally speaking. Again, it is like a carbohydrate breakfast, but it's of the better ones.
Hey, Dylan,
Um
I kind of hope that you were like learning and appreciating a lot of breakfasts are carbohydrate full meals.
and we're wrong for that, James. I
No,
hope
we're
you're
not.
appreciating that
It's
we're
the
wrong.
whole world. It's the whole world. There's a reason that we gravitated towards these foods. You need short-term energy in the morning to get your day going.
But you need protein more, and do you know what's not in that? A lot of protein.
Protein is
I need more
expensive.
protein.
What are you, an emperor?
give me, give me Jamaica.
All right. This is ackee and saltfish. It is they'll saltfish is like a huge thing in Jamaican
I love
cooking.
saltfish. Yeah, I love
Uh,
saltfish.
this is also served with kalaloo, which is a leafy vegetable dish, and mango, which I for some reason forgot to write details for, so I will just um,
We're
this is
already doing pretty good
a
here.
yeah. Never mind. Mango is plantains.
Ah,
It's mashed
dang,
plantains.
dang. All right, so say what's in this again.
So you've got ackee and saltfish. Let's see.
I do love
I'll define
saltfish.
ackee for you here.
I like
Yeah.
saltfish a lot.
So it is a fruit, with a creamy, nutty flavor.
Yes. Oh, yes. Okay, I think I have had that. All right, so that is gonna pull against the plantains a lot. I think that's gonna go straight in the middle there. Yeah.
I love. I love that chat just pulled out. What are you, an emperor? Give me Jamaica. Uh, came on each other's heels right there. That's very good.
That is really good. All right, we've got Japanese up next, which I also this is one I know
Japanese.
that I like.
All right, so there will be a rice, there will be a miso soup, a grilled fish, pickled veggies, natto, nori, and egg in various combinations. Um, much lighter, but definitely on the spectrum of full spread breakfasts.
Love a full spread breakfast. Love a rice for breakfast. Love a soup for breakfast. Do you know what we miss out on all the time? This is going in A. Easy. That's an easy A. Soup for breakfast is brilliant. Broth is so good for you, gang.
Really
Especially in the morning. Like, and this is me just healthcare professionaling at you. Having like a shot of like electrolyte in the morning, especially like hot, is genuinely great for you. And yeah, I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. Soup for breakfast, broth for breakfast. Do it. Yeah, that's easy. That's easy for me. I love that. Korea. I don't know that
Korea
I've had
is
any
usually
Korean
a
breakfast.
rice soup with banchan. So
Ooh.
that's obviously so varied. Banchan
Yeah.
being many different small plates, usually a lot of pickled vegetables, kimchi, obviously, coming up in this. I have met very few
Yeah.
banchans that I don't love entirely. And soup is good. I can't say that I've had this particular rice soup, but I've
Yeah.
had many a Korean soup, and I love them all.
Yeah. I will, I mean, this is getting points for me for for soup for breakfast A, kimchi involved, also great. Having also, and this is another hill I'll die on, vinegar. Vinegar based things, having that in the morning, especially, really good for you. A really, really great, like, stimulating way to wake up, and also really healthy for like you're setting your digestive tract up for the day. You are like really like kicking your immune system in for the day. It's really good. Um, I just think like health wise it's great, but also it's delicious. I haven't had many of these things, so I don't know them specifically, but I'm definitely gonna put that right in the middle for sure.
You
Um,
come to visit Chicago, we
yeah.
gotta. There's a Korean barbecue that is like down the street from me that's out of this fucking
Yeah,
world.
well,
And
I see. The thing is, I go to Korean barbecue sometimes, but I've never had a breakfast, and so
well, sure,
that's
the
something
the
missing from
banchan
my.
items that are showing up
Are there?
as like small plates, like
Yeah.
when you're picturing banchan, picture those.
Mm.
Uh, Specifically, like I'm sure Koreans out there in the comments in the world can like go, oh no, we have specific breakfast items. But when I
Probably,
was
yeah, but
again, so hard to Google things these days because
I know
the
it really
AI
is rough out there.
finding these pictures was hard.
You were trying to
Um,
Google something earlier, and it lied, it lied to you.
yeah.
Yeah. We've got the lumberjack next.
All
Which,
right. So this
oh
is
yes.
U.S. Canadian lumberjack. We're talking eggs. Potatoes is kind of a general category. For this one, I selected home fries as hash is represented elsewhere on this list. Usually some kind of sweet cake. That can be a waffle or a pancake or a flapjack or God, there are so goddamn many variations on it. Sausages, spreads, and toast.
If you have the opportunity to have hash and you choose home fries, what went wrong? Like, who
Home
did
fries
that
are
to you?
fucking incredible.
Who did that? That
I
you have, if
think
you have the option for hash and you choose home fries?
I think most hash is not well cooked. I'm gonna say a lot of it comes up dry, and so if you are shot in the dark, are gonna offer me home fries or hash. The home fries are a safer option. Um, I think also hash is good, but I've seen more beautiful peaks for home fries in my life than I've ever seen for hash.
I'm gonna say, and this is genuinely my opinion. A lumberjack breakfast is getting A tier, absolutely.
Wow.
This is this whole premise that James has set up though is based on what the average breakfast is in America, which is what I think is absolutely vile and disgusting. Versus,
So the average breakfast in the UK is not a full English. It's not. When you go to a hotel, maybe, but
but all right.
they're
So
not.
if I go to a hotel in England and the free breakfast has blood pudding, and I go to an hotel in America and the free breakfast is a stale bagel, a cereal, and a old hard boiled egg.
These are not the free breakfast. I mean, if we're doing just the free breakfasts, honestly, this category gets much smaller.
Sure,
And dim
sure.
sum still blows every fucking dish
Dim sum
so far
absolutely
out of the water.
still.
Why are we even
Why are
talking?
we even here? Yeah, for sure. I again can't stress enough. I don't know because I'm poorly traveled, but like I just do think like the lumberjack is a great because that's a great diner breakfast. That's like that's your hungover
Sure.
breakfast. It's perfect. Um, it's not what your mom's making for breakfast most of the time. I feel like it is also another thing. Like I feel like it's not like
It
what.
gets impossible to rank this list with what your mom is making for breakfast because it's so varied for so many people. There's no
For
way.
sure, for sure. All right, but that
All right.
lumberjack breakfast will get an A. Mongolian.
Mongolian. I kind of expect them to do pretty well. This is bortsog, deep fried dough, arul, which is dried curds, yogurt and lamb fried or in dumplings. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
So you know my opinion on yogurt. The exception is when lamb is involved. Lamb and
okay,
yogurt
okay.
is an unbelievable combination. It's like one of those weird things where like the flavor match is more important than what my opinion is on either thing. That they go together so well. Um I
I was going to say a lot of the dishes that will reference yogurt here, it's not yogurt the way the French are using yogurt, which
Oh
is
no, no,
just
no,
it
but
in and of itself with some fruit.
sure, but like okay, so like even like and I do this a lot. I make a lot of Greek yogurt. I make a lot of Greek yogurt based dishes myself. I'm even though I'm not a fan of it. Sometimes I'm doing that because that's the way to make a dish and I'm making it for somebody else. Yogurt with lamb is an appropriate matchup. It is good. I'm putting that in. Wouldn't turn it down. Easy.
All right, all right.
All right. We have okay, we have another China here represented, but I'm actually not sure what
Okay.
this one is. It looks like a sort of like pita-esque kind of flatbready
Yeah, let
situation.
me find.
Whatever it is, it does look promising.
Okay, yes. Bing, a savory pancake with egg, veggies, and occasional proteins, served with sauces.
Yeah. That's vague, but I do trust that a lot. I love a savory pancake like big time. And that's like an easy pull for me. I think I'm putting that in B. Uh,
Yeah,
just because it's a little vague and I don't, it's kind of like a would do anything. So it's like,
sure.
wouldn't turn it down, but savory pancake is easy.
Fair enough.
We've got North Africa next.
Hey, we get one of the heavy hitters, as this is shakshuka. This
Yeah.
is eggs poached in spiced tomato and bell pepper sauce, served with bread. One of the most powerful contenders on the list.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. This is another one that I have been lucky enough to have at least some versions of. Um, and I am going to say that I have really, really liked it a lot. And the only reason I'm not going to put it in S tier is because it is also a thing that, at least in my very limited New York based experience, has been very spicy. And that is a
It can
Dillin
range. It
failing.
can range. I
Dillin
suspect,
failing.
prepared for Western palates, it is probably less spicy. But it's
But no one's
it's
preparing
just so
things for
fucking
Dillin
good.
pellets. No one's doing
Sure.
that. We've got Vietnamese next.
Okay. Hey, remember when I said heavy hitter was here a second ago? Fucking no more heavy hitter than Vietnam as we get pho. That's right, fucker. And I wrote that down. One of the world's greatest soups is a breakfast.
Yeah. This is such an easy S tier. Such an easy S
Yeah.
tier. Um, it's a soup that is so fucking full of flavor. It is also, I will tell people, and this is not as a medical professional, but as a human, I will say if you are sick, the first thing you should do is have pho. That is the That is the
is our
very first thing that
sick
you should
tradition.
do if you are sick, especially with a respiratory like illness. You should have pho immediately. It's going to cure you in a way that is unimaginable. A pho, and here's my genuine medical opinion, a pho and a hot toddy in that order, go to sleep.
Ooh,
Get have a
wow.
pot of pho, have a hot toddy, pass out. You will wake up
See, what
better.
I think is happening medically
Yeah.
is you have like that broth hits your lips and all the white blood cells go in your body go, oh God, it's so good to be alive. We have to fight for this. We
Yeah.
can't we can't let anyone take this from us.
Yeah. It's great. It's great for clearing your sinuses. Like there's citrus in there. There's herbs in there. It's so fucking flavorful. It's so good. The spice, that is, I will tell you, pho is the time where my spice tolerance for some reason goes up. I
Hmm.
like for whatever the fuck reason I cannot explain.
Pho is
It
such a beautiful balance of different things,
yeah.
especially because like uh because we mostly have pho when we're sick or we remember it when we're sick. It's served in delivery culture in like bags where it's like, well, you should decide what goes in this. I don't want to impose. I just
Oh,
made the
sure, sure,
dish.
sure.
So yeah, I love that. Like, yeah, no matter what, it's always comes out to be like, oh, I'm so glad every ingredient is here, and I somehow chose exactly the right amount for whatever I wanted. Just
Hey, yeah.
when I looked up Vietnamese breakfast and it's like, oh yeah, pho is often served for breakfast. I was like, fuck,
Fuck.
what are we
Yeah.
doing? We
We're
need to go
messing
back
up.
to the
We're
goddamn
messing up
drawing
because
board.
super breakfast. Did I not say that? It's so good. Also, L and Syntac, the same brain that happened before my eyes, those messages came in at the exact same time. You are excellent. That was hysterical. We're at Polish next.
All right, Polish breakfast. Hey, I'm not gonna be able to say this. Razuski,
Sure.
small yeasted pancakes with a fluffy consistency.
Get the fuck out of here. I don't like American pancakes. I don't like them when they're from somewhere else. Get get out of my face. Love the idea. Love that they're little. That's very cute. But pass. We've got South Africa next.
South African is mealie-pop. It is a maize porridge, a very common breakfast.
Love maize porridge.
It actually varies in consistency, which is interesting. You can get it thick, smooth, or crumbly. Um, it is served with various toppings, usually veggies, but meats are sometimes included. Probably a lot of the places where you'd be getting served it, it would be meats because you'd be going as a visitor.
Okay. Um, maize porridge. We know that I love that.
I love a
And
porridge.
I love a porridge. I'm gonna go ahead and A tier that, even though I don't think I've ever had this, but I think that it
It
makes
would
sense
just
that I would like it.
practically work out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It just makes sense. It's all the things I like. South Indian. What do you have for that?
All right.
This looks
South
promising to
Indian.
me at a
Yeah,
glance.
this is dilly, fluffy rice lentil cakes with vada, which are deep fried fritters, and sambar, a lentil stew.
Ooh. Okay. See, all right, the only failing in this is that there's not a lot of protein, but I like all of those kinds of carbohydrates. I think that those are all really good ones. I'm going to put that right in the middle there. Um
And I
yeah.
want to point out there's no West Indian represented because Google is so broken. Every time I tried to look up West Indian cuisines, it was, you mean Caribbean? And I go, no, I actually don't
It's
mean
I
Caribbean.
actually we can't talk about it. I'm so mad about the destruction of the Google search. Um Swiss. What do we got for Swiss?
Ah, Swiss. This one I think is gonna work well for you. This is the roasty, which is a hash uh, like it's basically like a hash pancake, with smoked salmon, and sometimes a cream.
Oh, fuck. I'm sorry, the Swiss. I wasn't aware of your game. I really, I really expected that to be another fucking sweet pastry. That's
And it, which isn't
awesome.
to say that a lot of these other European places don't have a lot of fucking
Oh, sure,
pastries,
sure,
but
sure, sure,
once
sure.
I had looked up France and Spain and Belgium, and they were all just like, oh yeah, mostly pastries. I'm like, what else you got? What
Yeah,
else do you do?
yeah.
So
No,
the
I'm.
Swiss might have shown harder for that,
Oh, that's
but
Oh, that sounds fucking pleasant. I'm happy about that. We've got Thai next, which also
all
looks very
right.
promising to me.
Yeah. Thai, hey, guess what? This is Mu Ping, baby. It's marinated skewers with pork served over a sticky rice.
Easy, easy S tier. That
Thai is fucking. Mm. Well, Thai's on another level too. Like, that's a culture that's like, not only are we gonna make amazing food, we're gonna pay attention to how our food places on an international stage. So they're out there devising
it's
dishes to
true.
kick ass.
Yeah.
They're the fucking Goku of the culinary world.
Yeah, but there's something to be said because because um there's like a lot of similarities in like my like upbringing, at least in terms of Nana opinions upbringing, um
Mm-hmm.
is that a lot of dishes are have a lot in common with like um with sort of like Southeast Asian mixed with Mediterranean.
Sure.
And like there's a lot of crossover between those two arenas there. Um, but I tend and I love Mediterranean food for lots of other meals. I don't love it for breakfast.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure. I can definitely see that.
yeah. We have Tibetan next.
Tibetan. This is interesting. This is sampa. It's a roast barley flour that is made into a porridge with water, milk, or tea, which I found to be fascinating. Um, then there is cheese butter, which I could find no answers for that.
For what that means.
And sometimes sugar is added.
Fascinating. I This is fascinating. I know almost nothing about what any of
Yeah.
these flavors could be like together, but I am so confident that I would love it. I'm so confident that I would love it. I like
You're
the
in New
idea.
York, you can get a sampa. You
I'm
you
sure
just
I
gotta
can.
hunt,
I
I'm
just
sure.
haven't, but that sounds fucking awesome actually. Um
We did get an important question in chat, that I want us to explore, and that is, what is the piccolo of the culinary world? Um, Piccolo started off as an evil colonizer, so this is probably going to be some form of European cuisine.
has to be.
Um, L like became a father figure slash mentor to a very powerful type of cuisine.
Yeah.
And then has, because they propped this other cuisine up, they've kind of been relegated out of the power rankings, for the
Yeah.
most part.
Mm.
So I am going to say that this is Spanish cuisine is probably piccolo, because all of that good Central American stuff that we've been talking about has a Spanish influence coming to it, but it is, you know, Gohan's potential is the greatest potential in Dragon Ball, and that's what pushed it far beyond Spain's power levels. So that's what I'm gonna go for there. Uh,
I'm not going to
I don't
disagree.
know how well versed in the canon, the biblical canon of Akira Toriyama's Dragon Ball Z you are, but I'd welcome other
None.
opinions.
None opinion. I have no opinion nor
Great.
knowledge on this, so I will just trust you. James, did you put cereal on this list?
Yeah,
Is
I
that what I'm
did.
looking at?
This is USA Puritanical Freak.
Yeah.
This is a wheat and grain-based meal engineered by diseased Puritan minds to suppress horniness.
Why
An
did
effort that
you
failed so spectacularly that it resulted in the creation of Tony the Tiger, often served with milk, occasionally fruit.
You took away my F tier abilities for this, and that is your sin. Because
I should have put
cereal
an F tier
should
in, but
be
in my defense,
the
I
F
did
tier.
not know how.
Yeah. Cereal should be an F tier. Absolutely. It's in D for now. But what an evil thing. What an awful, evil thing that provides nothing to you. It is primarily a vehicle to make sugar water for your cats. It is not. It is not. It is not nutritious. It's not good. It's bad. Occasionally, some of the cereal has marshmallows in it, and that's fine. But then the only fun is having the marshmallows for the texture. What is a
Yeah,
full
the,
Cajun?
a full Cajun would be eggs, grits, andouille sausage, red beans, jambalaya, and possibly beignets.
Ooh, like a lot of that. Like a lot of that.
Yeah, it's kind of
Love
like a full English, except every individual component is better.
that. That's okay. That's wrong. But I do like grits a lot. So that is absolutely an easy A.
Fucking wild.
Love that.
Fucking wild.
That sounds great. That sounds great. We're at a full
All right,
English.
we're now at a full English. This
I
is
know
the
you have
last
something
meal.
prepared for this.
No, I've
No.
nothing prepared. I guess I will describe it.
Sure.
This is eggs, blood sausage, sometimes white sausage, fried tomatoes, sometimes toast, and almost certainly baked beans.
Baked beans, very important. Uh, mushrooms, grilled mushrooms, grilled
Oh, the
tomatoes,
grilled mushrooms. I did forget the grilled
grilled
mushrooms.
mushrooms. Oh,
Which is
it's
actually the
S.
best part of the full
It's
English.
S every time. Baked beans for
The
breakfast.
fact, the fact that the fucking sad, pathetic excuse for sausages that show up in British meals, compared to the andouille sausage, it's such an easy decision. And the only trade-off that you're making there are like the mushrooms, which the savory quality of those mushrooms gets replaced with the fucking jambalaya, the food that has been introduced to flavors. Apart from
Look,
fat and burned and somehow did a tomato bad.
but you know this about me. I love things. I love like a Pickens. I love a Pickens. A Pickens is good.
The full Cajun gave you all of that. It worked so hard for you, Dylan.
It did. It did work so hard. And it, you know,
I
seems
cannot
good.
imagine if I were to put a full Cajun and a full English next to each other, that you would willingly put your fork to the English instead of the Cajun. That's crazy. That's crazy.
That doesn't look as I just love beans. I love beans as a thing. I love them. They're good.
And wild that the sweet bean is what you're going with, because there are plenty of dishes here
Because
that featured.
it's not okay. So it's sweet in a very particular way, and I do love like that kind of barbecue-y sweetness, like that kind of like molassesy flavor of sweetness.
Sure.
That's good. Yeah, I genuinely James, I have to tell you, this is really funny. This was genuinely fascinating, and like I'm looking at this spread, and I'm actually feeling like I am I'm looking at a picture that describes where my flavors are in such a very descriptive way. This is actually kind of fascinating.
What I like is that you have a little bit of a to-do list too.
I
that you get to
do,
walk
for
away
sure.
from here. Like you get
Yeah.
to try so many new things, and I guarantee, living in New York, not only are those things there, but there is a good version of those things there.
I think especially in the B tier, I think there are a lot of these that would probably move up or down because a lot of the things in the B tier are based on my assumption of what they would be, but I've never actually tried them. So like I feel like the B tier will probably like change as I test those things out. Whereas like on the opposite sides, I feel more opinionated and I feel pretty sure in either direction. That B tier is kind of like full of things I haven't actually tried. Well, with some exceptions, but yeah.
Then the last question that I have is looking at your S tier. If the full English was presented to you and any of the other S tier contenders, what is the likelihood that you would choose the full English over those other contenders?
Sure. Dim Sum is the only other one I'm choosing first. Like
wow,
Dim Sum I choose
not
first.
Even
easy.
pho.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I don't always like a liquid for breakfast, even though I do believe in soup for breakfast.
We have to decolonize your palate. There's just something needs to change.
You can't look at this and tell me my palate needs to be decolonized. Nothing. The full English is the only thing represented at the top of my
and it's the worst one. It's the worst offender.
They're not even my colonizers.
Our ancestors, Dillin. Our ancestors. Their blood.
Fuck. God, you're right. You're right. You're right. No.
The reason there's no such thing as an Irish breakfast. Because that's just the food the English took away from you.
It's just a full English, yeah. Yeah. Well, look. Sometimes. Broken clocks, you know.
Yeah, you throw them away. That's great. Well, we finished.
We finished it. We did it. I'm going to download that real quick. There we go.
That's great.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me download that. So, James. We have, if I believe, one more tier list.
Yeah, this is James and Dillin's little guys. Now, Dillin, I did add a 6th little guy. If you would like another little guy to be added to this list, you are very welcome to do that.
I'm happy with my little guys. I would request that we take a short break if you don't mind.
Let's do a short break. We'll be back with little guys. And also, I want to point out to the audience, because we're taking a break, if you are a one-shot patron at any level, you can head over to the Patreon right now. The top post there is going to be for this tier list event where we have a collection of some of our favorite characters, but we don't know the various criterias that we will be ranking them on yet. That's up to you. So you can submit those right now. And I expect, because this is a very small list of characters, we'll probably be able to knock out a few of these.
Absolutely. Please do it. Please, I beg.
All right. We'll see you soon, heroes. Hey,
Hello.
heroes!
We're back.
We're back.
This one
So yeah.
is what is a combo round with so I gave you 5 characters. You have 6,
Mhm.
is that right?
I snuck a 6th guy in there. Yeah.
Okay. Sick. Excellent. Okay. Talk to me. Who are they? I know
So
Goku.
yeah, you're familiar with Goku.
Vaguely, yeah.
So next to Goku, we have Granny Weatherwax. Actually,
Okay.
let's just walk down the whole list because
Yeah.
we will probably need to explain all of our guys to the audience.
Yeah.
So first up is actually yours. One of
Yeah,
yours.
that's the fish man from Shape of Water. I brought some freaks to the party.
And I brought like just genuinely good and powerful beings. Maybe sans Goku good. Goku's complicated. But Goku is my first up. Then I've got Granny Weatherwax
Okay.
from the Discworld series of novels. She is a cantankerous old witch who likes things right and proper. One of my favorite Granny Weatherwax quotes is, "I'm not naked underneath my clothes. I'm wearing 3 vests." She's just hard as nails, and of course from Badass, a region of Discworld. She's great. If you haven't read any Granny Weatherwax books, Dylan, you're in for an absolute treat.
Lovely. I brought Hexus, the oil slick monster from Fern Gully.
Then I brought Margaret from Skyjacks.
Oh, delightful. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I brought Mickey 18 specifically from Mickey 17. Again, another
Yeah,
freak. I
absolute freak.
also brought Nightmare from Date Everything, which James I spent I'm gonna say 6 hours playing last night. And
Yeah, you. I was like, wow, you're bringing a character from that game because, as far as I knew, you were just introduced to that game.
yep, and that's all it took. I, I opened it up and it was the best thing ever.
Then I've got Peter Parker, Spider-Man, and Rengen Aritaka from Mob Psycho 100. Uh, Rengen is a con man who uh, is the mentor and after school job boss of the most powerful psychic on Earth, uh, who has done sort of ostensibly convinced the rest of the world that he's a powerful psychic, and it's unclear whether Mob also thinks he's a powerful psychic. Despite having no morals, he is, well, I won't say no morals.
Mm,
A strained relationship with honesty is probably what I'll say.
sure.
He's such a good mentor for everyone who comes under his wing. And he's also fucking brave as hell. Just unstoppable.
Beautiful. Smeech from Arcane.
Yeah, I never got up to Smeech. If there's anything that would tempt me to learn more about Arcane, Googling pictures of Smeech is absolutely one of them. What's Smeech's deal?
um, um, evil. uh,
Right? Sure.
evil guy. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's it. Right?
Bad guy. Yeah. Who's this
And
dog?
next to Smeech is the goodest of all good things. It's the littlest hobo, the hobo himself.
Oh,
Uh,
right. The littlest hobo. Yeah, I've heard about this.
yeah, he's a dog who wanders from town to town, doing acts of good, fixing people's problems as he goes. He fucking hates cops. He hates cops so goddamn much.
We love him
Uh,
for that.
And does he have powers? Unclear. Absolutely unclear. He
Sure.
does mostly the stunts that a dog can do and be filmed doing.
Okay. Excellent. So, what is the metric by which we are judging these creatures?
So, our wonderful audience has put together a collection of different metrics. I'm going to, some people have submitted multiple. I'm going to try and make sure that, why did that happen? Okay. Oh, I see. I scrolled down too far. I'm going to try and make sure that everybody who sent one in gets at least one of theirs done. So the first one we have is coming from. I am gonna do one of the first person to submit. Chris Kinski sent in. Rank these characters according who is most likely to successfully audition to be a part of the Uhuru crew.
Oh, fascinating.
All right.
Ooh. I
I
I think Fishman absolutely would. Like easy top tier.
You think he would make it? So
Oh, would
here are some
audition.
problems. Would audition, sure, but most likely to successfully audition is the challenge. All of these are likely to audition because we have anybody can get on that line. It's a question of who's gonna make it, and I'm afraid Fishman has a couple things holding him back. One, in the world of Skyjacks, water is evil. Um, Being a fish
Fascinating.
guy,
Okay.
there's a heavy chance that there might be
Yeah.
perhaps unfair
Yeah.
suspicion thrown upon him.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
it to me it comes down to whether or not Travis is there. If Travis is there, I think he's making it in anyway.
Yeah.
I think unless Travis is there to sort of lead things down a irresponsible path, he's probably getting locked out. I will say Spit is absolutely going to fight for him. So I think he's not the lowest tier because he's got at least one audition proctor there to fight for him.
Okay. All right. So do you want to middle him?
Middle,
Ish?
I'd say middle. I think that's
Middle?
a good middle.
Okay. Goku. Now,
Goku.
I don't know. I know of Goku. I'm somewhat familiar, but I don't know this character very intimately. Um.
So Goku has some challenges. I think first of all, he's got a winning personality. He's very strong, very dumb. That does make him fit in pretty well with a lot of the Uhuru crew. The problem might be he could make it past an audition, but I don't think he's actually going to be on the ship very long because of how destructive his entire thing is. When Goku's powering up his energy, he creates craters on the ground. Just his spiritual power pushing aside things, which is not ideal if you're on a
Mm,
sky ship. Now,
yeah.
his ability to fly would be very helpful. Um,
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
so I think he makes it past the audition but gets fired immediately.
B. Is that what B is?
B, I guess. Yeah,
B.
I guess that's what
Okay.
B is.
Yeah. All right. So you know what? I have a question. Where is Margaret? Because I feel that is a maybe a more complicated answer than what we might expect. Because I would think
My
I would think she would be an easy S, but maybe I'm wrong. What do you think?
would be an easy yes. I feel like if Margaret was actually auditioning, the crew would be lucky to have her. It would come down to whether or not Overboard, the ship's HR manager, was there, because then a lot of people who are in charge of that decision might have to recuse themselves from the decision-making process. Um,
Mm,
I still feel she's got a very good shot at it.
okay. So are we saying A maybe?
I would say A to S.
A to S. Okay. Do we want to do it? Do we want to give her the S? Or what? What do you think?
Let's give Maggie the S.
Okay. Okay. Grand. All right. So I feel like that sets up a a metric for how high the S is. Um
Yeah.
Okay. So this witch character, whose name I
Granny
already forgot.
Weatherwax. Yeah,
Thank you.
Granny Weatherwax.
Okay.
If she wants to be on that ship, she's going to get on that ship. It's the sort
Okay.
of thing like
Yeah.
2 minutes into a conversation with her, I feel like everybody would realize how very important it is to stay within her good graces.
Mm,
Um, this audition. I'm just picturing a very fear based thing. I might put it down at B just because she bullies her way on. It doesn't matter
fascinating. Yeah.
what
Yeah. Yeah.
the people making that decision think or want.
Yeah. I agree. Okay. That makes sense. All right. So what I'm learning so far, I'm gonna say that Hexus, while pure evil, is not gonna be an F because I do feel like he's very anti-water. And so he
Sure.
might be able to get past some barriers here.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, D is he can make a case for himself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think so. um and Mickey 18, I you know what? I'm genuinely going to pull for an A on Mickey
I was
18.
gonna say, I think
Yeah?
he's A.
Yeah?
I think
Oh,
he makes it past the which A is makes it past the audition and sort of fades into the crew.
sure.
Um, there are many characters who pass the audition and then we never see them again unless they're rolled on the Uhuru death chart, which I think is appropriate for Mickey 18.
Love that. Nightmare. All right. So what I've learned of Nightmare so far. Nightmare, fascinating character. If you in the game date everything, drink any sort of caffeine at midnight, you wake up in the middle of the night to Nightmare. This many-eyed, multiple-headed creature that shows up and gives you sleep paralysis and then talks you through a nightmare in one of the most upsettingly hot ways I've ever been spoken to by anyone, living, dead, fictional, or otherwise. Uh,
Wow.
uh, and and so and so I think that Nightmare I think that Nightmare is losing because Nightmare would not audition. Nightmare would just show up on the ship and
Sure.
and be there.
You haven't clearly listened to enough of the audition segments because Nightmare does sound like a down the middle, run of the mill auditioner for the Uhuru ship. I definitely say that this is like D or F tier of it's like one of those characters who shows up and everybody's like, "What are you doing here, man?
Sure.
What are you doing?"
Yeah. Okay. Fair. Um. Peter Parker.
There's no fucking way he's getting like he will undermine himself at every turn at this audition. There's
Oh,
just no way.
fascinating. Oh, like F tier, no way, or like
F tier. It's
easy.
all of the
Okay.
good qualities that he has are somehow going to work against him.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Okay. Fair.
it's
Wow. Really
classic.
painting a picture of the Uhuru ship to me.
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah. Well, the audition process certainly.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a picture of the segment of the crew that we've added through auditions.
Yeah. Remind me who this next guy is again.
Rengen Arataka.
Okay.
So this is the con man who claims to be one of the world's most powerful psychics and is actually mentor and boss to literally the world's most powerful psychic. Um, God. I am tempted to say B here.
Okay.
I
I
think
can't argue, but
I,
please.
I think he would con his way onto the ship. Or he could con his way onto the ship, but he could also get discovered very easily. Like Rengen really benefits from a lot of the people around him not asking follow-up questions, and that does happen in the interview.
Fair.
Um,
Fair.
uh,
Okay.
Smeech, is
Smeech.
that the name?
Okay. So, um, while I don't think he would do well on the ship. Uh, how are we with like the stealing and hoarding of trinkets?
I mean, it's a pirate ship,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's kind
So
of like
so
that's a
pretty
good thing to have on the resume.
pretty good. Um, Also, just a general like, and I know that's not, this is not going to be the accurate word, but has a very like like steampunky adjacent like kind of vibe to him, which I think could blend well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we work very hard on Skyjacks to distinguish ourselves from steampunk at every turn because
I know,
you know,
I know.
very important not to be identified as that at launch. But I'm gonna say Smeech is absolutely A tier. He's definitely one of the fucking freak goblins that we
Yeah.
get past on auditions on a ship. That's no question. That's easy.
I love that. All right. And
Which
then
of course
the
leaves
goodest boy,
Hobo. Um,
Hobo.
I feel like he's got to be S tier, baby. Hobo is a character that not only is getting on the ship, I'm excited to play them again. They're coming up. They're having plots.
Whoa. Love that.
All right, let's reset it. And now I am going to select one of the most recent submissions.
Okay, excellent. Where, how do I, oh, reset. There we go.
Well, I mean, the hobo is gonna get on the ship, fix a
Yeah.
bunch of problems, and then get off the ship. That's his way. He's, you know, maybe tomorrow, someday, he'll settle down.
Sure. Sure. Sure.
Yeah. So now our next category is coming from Ocean Gremlin, who says, rank them according to what song they would pick in karaoke. And I'm assuming like, is this
Is
song
a
a good
good
idea,
song.
a crowd pleaser? Yeah, that sort of thing.
Yeah. I'm upsettingly going to have to put Fishman in S tier. One, he doesn't talk, so I'm assuming he doesn't sing. Um, well, wait. Hold on. But he does like music a
Yeah.
lot. So I'm gonna just put him up to a D. He's not gonna do karaoke, so it's still disqualifying him. But he's gonna be a good time at karaoke, which
I like the idea of him doing karaoke to an instrumental.
yeah, which is just swimming around to it. Yeah.
That's good.
Can I? Oh, you know what? Let's go in order. Goku. What do you think?
Goku is like D tier, absolutely. Like it's the same thing. Like he might be able to sing. I've never heard it. He
Yeah.
wants to fight. He's challenging people at the karaoke place to fight.
Agreed. Agreed. Yeah. You're
Granny
rich.
Weatherwax, yeah, she is shutting down karaoke. That's F tier. She is gonna make it so that she will make it so that everybody goes and does their jobs.
Hexus S tier.
S
It's
tier. What's Hexus bringing to the table?
Hexus has the smoothest, hottest singing voice of all time. Hexus.
What
Hexus.
song is he picking?
Oh, what song is he picking?
Yeah.
God. I who it almost doesn't matter. But I know that it's gonna be smooth as fuck. I think that Tracy is right. Tracy's
Kiss
correct.
from a Rose.
Kiss
Okay.
from a Rose. It's crazy, and he's bringing the house down with it, and he's making people question their morality while they sing along because they can't help it. Margaret, I have to assume, is going to be good at karaoke. But I'm open to what you're saying. Yeah.
I think an A tier. I mean, ultimately, right now, Margaret is voiced by me, which means she has no singing voice. But
Sure.
canonically, you would see her singing on that stage, and you would fall in love with her. There's no
Easy.
question of that.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mickey
I
18.
Mickey 18. Now Mickey 18 I also want to put in S tier, but I don't think it's because like I think Hexus goes in S tier because he is singing like crazy and influencing everyone around him and making everybody fall in love. Mickey 18 is going to pick a crowd sing along, something by Queen, like that is like
Yeah.
that everybody is going to party to, like everybody is going to be ordering another round, everybody is going to be singing along, everybody's going to be jumping up out of their seats.
He's obviously Bohemian Rhapsody. Like that's
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
even a question.
Yeah. That's the vibe there.
Sure. I fully buy that.
Yeah. I don't think I'm getting a singing vibe from Nightmare. I think Nightmare probably will do karaoke. I don't think it will be good. I think it will be it'll be too slow. And it'll bring the vibe down. And it'll be deeply uncomfortable in a way that if it were one-on-one, you'd be turned on. But because it's in a group setting, you're just sort of disconcerted. And that's what I think Nightmare brings to the party.
Peter Parker picks a song that is way longer than you think it is every time. You know, like Love Shack is such a popular song for karaoke, and people don't realize it's 4.5 fucking minutes long.
Yep.
That Parker Luck is, whether he's good at singing or not, he wears out his welcome on that stage long before that song is over.
Yeah, I agree. So where does that land him?
I feel it's God. Okay, so F is stopping the karaoke. D is, I guess it's a low C or a high D.
I'm agreeing with C there. That sounds good.
I mean, he could do so. A lot of people are saying Weird Al songs for Peter Parker,
For
and
Peter.
like, I think the problem is that like Peter would like say to the person running the karaoke like, "Oh, I want to do this Weird Al song," and people would go like, "Okay, great. I think I heard Weird Al Albuquerque. Great. So that's the one that you'll be doing." And then he's up there for 16 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
It's not whether he's good or bad or whether he can pick the right song or not. The universe will conspire against him to give him
make it
and
bad.
everyone else around him a bad time.
I agree.
And then the rhino bursts through the wall.
Yeah. Upsetting.
Rengen Aritaka, hey, baby, that's fucking S tier. This boy, whether he can sing or not, if it's a group karaoke situation, like a open bar karaoke situation, he might not be that good a singer, but he will, with his song choice, move people in the audience who are incredibly talented singers to sing along with him.
Yeah.
And it will turn into just a beautiful group experience. Or if it is a private booth karaoke situation, he will pick a song that has the exact lyrics needed to inspire and change the heart of somebody else in that room with him. It's just going to happen that way.
I agree. Smeech is shutting down karaoke.
Shutting down karaoke.
Scaring everybody away. Yeah. In a different way, I think that he tries genuinely hard, and it's bad. It's
what
really
song does he pick?
awful.
What's his song?
I think that maybe it's oh I know exactly what it is. It's UB40. Can't help falling in love, and it's. And it's genuinely god awful.
Oh, that's good. That's really good. I think the hobo's D tier. He's not much of a barker. So he's not even doing that thing where like dogs kind of howl along.
No,
it's just not his style.
Sure.
He's there to offer support. He's good to be
around,
with
sure.
at karaoke. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. Oh, how fascinating. I love that. How many other ideas do we have from the heroes?
There are like 9 comments in
Oh, fascinating! I love them
here.
so much.
I
That's
think we could do like 1 or 2 more and then close it out.
I I
Um,
think I have one more in me.
okay,
Uh,
one more in you. All right.
yes.
So, uh, I'll just read out a couple options and then we can pick the one that we want.
Okay.
King and Commoner submitted most likely to dangerously escalate a prank war. Looks or would look best in a suit. Best magical girl. Most likely to die in space. There's from Shazaran, there is a best to worst dancer. And then Mel E submitted a lot of different ideas.
Oh, Melly, I love you.
Yeah,
Super Dylan, number one fan, Melly.
in NYC mayoral election, best to worst bagel order, most likely to get into a Twitter beef, most likely to call Twitter X, most likely to own slash vandalize a Cybertruck, biggest Mets fan, most lesbian, most likely to smuggle illegal goods, most likely for Dylan to fall in love with, most likely to
I
be in
love
a
you, babe.
toxic long distance relationship, most likely to drop out of community college. Um,
God,
the,
babe.
it, it does go well. I'm not going to cheat anybody out of anything. These are delightful. Most likely to start an actual play podcast. Most likely to write a horny ass tabletop role playing game. Most likely to take down a blog of either James's or Dylan's work. Oh, to do a takedown blog of either James's or Dylan's work. Uh, Who's the most a little bit ugly, worst liar, most likely to be annoying about their birthday, most likely to celebrate their birth week, most likely to fail organic chemistry, and there are more, but I am gonna cut it there.
All right, Melly,
Uh,
I promise you personally that I am going to tier list your tier list submissions, and that is my promise to you. I think what I want to do is the magical girl one for these guys
oh,
in particular.
okay, I
Yeah.
really, really like that. And I want to say hello to Otso Spirit Bear. Thank you for the raid. We're so excited to have you with us. We have a group of, each of us brought a handful of our favorite guys, and we've had the audience submit different categories that we are going to rank them in a tier list for. And the one that we're going to do is most likely, is it most likely to be a magical girl? I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's magical girl, and like magical girl S tier has got to be like you're the Sailor Moon, you're the magical girl that becomes so powerful that as you fight a enemy that can destroy the universe with a single blow, you recreate it with every blow you strike back. Um,
Yeah.
then A tier is, I think, strong magical girl, but challenged. I guess like yeah, Sakura's also S tier. I'm trying to think of like an A tier magical girl. B we get down. That's the rest of the inner senshi. That is like you have maybe killed a yokai, but like most of the time you're just there for emotional support or filler. C is just Ami of the inner senshi, who you've never killed a single villain in your entire life, but we love you. You've got those computer glasses.
Yeah.
Um, B has got to be like you're fucking weird, outer senshi. You're like, these are your Neptunes, your Plutos. Like your whole thing is so fucking complicated to explain. It's better to go. She's the hot one with short hair. She drives a Ferrari. She's fucking great.
Yeah.
Um, and FT is like this is your girl failure, magical girls, or like just basically rejecting the premise.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Absolutely. I think then I'm gonna put Fishman. I think is like a solid I want to say A or B. Do you want a tie break for me here?
Okay. I'm thinking of Fishman. Is
Because like
he's B in my mind,
I
and
think you're
because
right.
he's a tuxedo mask role. He's there to support the woman that he loves and propel her to greater heights, I think.
Sure. He's already magical is the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that very much. Um I,
Goku would be an S tier magical
I
girl,
think
and
so. Okay,
it's
I don't
not
know
fucking
enough, but
close.
my instinct said that.
If
Um
love and friendship were the keys to being better at fighting, he would simply excel at those things. He loves to fight so goddamn much.
yep, I agree. Okay.
Um, Granny Weatherwax is F tier. She rejects the entire
The
premise of
premise.
magical girls, but in doing so, like whatever nightmarish world-ending thing, she stares it right in the eyes and smacks it on the nose and sends it packing.
Yeah. James, you can be an evil magical girl, right?
Oh, absolutely.
In which case, Hexus is an S tier of absolutely.
Fuck.
That's that's a done deal.
Um,
Margaret.
Maggie, I think, is A to B tier, possibly B, because I think she's in more of a support role, you
I
know?
think I agree with you there. Yeah, from what I have
Yeah.
known and what I continue to learn, I think that if Fishman is there, she is there as well in like a similar kind of vein. Is that she's very important, very magical, but
Yeah, somebody points out she's like a goddess character in a magical girl anime.
yeah,
She is like a mentor figure or what
yeah,
have you. She's not really the person wielding the powers.
yeah. I don't think Mickey 18 is quite F, but he's not magical girl. I think that he's gonna be like C or D
This is
somewhere.
so complicated for me because yeah, I so I think he's this is so hard. This is so hard because in Mickey 17, I would consider Mickey 17 to be the S tier magical girl of that
Of
thing.
that world for sure.
So I might actually put him in A tier because what Mickey 18 is, this is slightly adjacent to Magical Girl, but in Common Writer, there is usually a second writer who will show up in the season who is a cooler guy with a cooler costume, um, but less powerful than the central writer, or their way isn't correct.
Sure.
Common Writer
Okay.
Forze did a great job
Yeah.
with it. That's where I think Mickey
Yeah.
18 is.
No, okay. I love that. I love that. I think that's great. Mm, I I think Nightmare rejects the premise, and is gonna live down here
Okay.
in F. Yeah. Um, Nightmare is, uh, there's you know what? There's no transformation necessary. No one needs to transform. We all need to sit in our discomfort and in our, and we all need to exist. We all need to exist in our flaws. That's the that,
uh,
that's the philosophy there.
Peter Parker, I think we've got another S tier here.
I do have to agree with you. Yeah, I have to agree there. That's easy. Yeah.
Uh, Rengen is very specifically not a magical girl. Even in a magical girl universe, he
Wouldn't be.
might pretend or fake it. He will still accomplish the same things that the magical girl needs to accomplish, but he will do it without magic. Um, so it's complicated. I'm giving he's like an F tier with an asterisk. I
Okay.
guess like I feel like Granny Weatherwax being there too. It's really very similar vibes but opposite ends.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Love that. Um,
Smeech.
Smeech, I think, where would you put someone who would want to be but deeply isn't?
It's so complicated because like there are so many different takes on Magical Girl.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, could Smeech? All I know is that he is a collector of small trinkets and evil.
Yeah.
Um, could Smeech be the sort of villain that gets reformed by a magical girl?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Then he's at C tier.
Okay.
He will
Yeah.
show up. He will join the Senshi. He will have powers. But
Yeah.
he's not really moving the needle. It's more about that's just representative of his journey.
Okay. Okay. Great. Yeah. I love that.
And then finally we come to the littlest hobo.
You have
The
to
littlest
tell
hobo
me.
is almost too powerful for this list. Like he's not a magical girl, he's what makes people magical girls. Like if I were to pitch very briefly the littlest hobo anime that is like a magical girl anime, he travels from town to town finding different dejected youths and people, and he infuses them with the magical powers they need to address their problems in life. Yeah, I guess it's B tier.
I think
He's
so.
the transformation object.
But you know what I will do? I'm going to kind of reorder this B tier and put him as like the Best of B tier
Sure,
as
sure.
the vehicle for that, and that sounds right. Um I
That's
love
great.
I love this. Oh my god, I love everybody for giving such great like interesting ideas. Mel, I am not kidding. I will do a tier list of your tier list suggestions, and you will have that because I love you for doing that so much.
Absolutely.
Gosh.
Um,
Wow.
I am going to just briefly pull up the events that we have coming up. Let's see here for our 2025 Patreon drive this first week. Um, Tomorrow on Tuesday, we've got two shots with Dillin and Shagik. Uh, Dylan, do you want to briefly explain
I
what
would.
that is?
Yeah, that is the official talkback show for One Shot that Shalik and I have started. And we are going to be doing the first ever episode that Shalik was on as editor for, which is also the 600th episode of One Shot, Husband, Daddy, Protector,
Whoa!
Hero. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very big, very big. If you haven't listened to Husband, Daddy, Protector, Hero, it is the easiest listen because it is only one episode. It is one shot. I have 102 fever, and we are playing a game I wrote 2 a.m. high as a fucking kite. And it is great. It is, I maintain that despite all of the cards stacked against us, it is one of the best episodes of the show in my tenure. So, Husband, Daddy, Protector, Hero. It features almost all of my roommates, except for the one that cannot be on actual play because it is a conflict of interest because she is a journalist with integrity. And it is a romp. So we're going to be talking about that. And yeah, that's going to be fun.
Excellent. Then on Wednesday, I am going to be sitting down with Tracy and John from System Mastery, and we're going to be building commander decks, very specifically building evil commander decks, building commander decks that make the game worse to play, which I'm very excited. That's one of the cool things about Magic the Gathering, sort of as a game design experience, is you can actually just make the game bad for everyone with your choices, which is kind of fun. And they don't even necessarily make the game bad because you're winning. You can be losing and still make the game bad for everyone else to play.
Yep.
I can't wait to dive into that. Then on Thursday, Tracy and Bugs are doing another stream of The Exhibitionists. That is our Commander hang stream, where many people, mostly so far around the MTG sphere, although we have had different one-shot personalities rotate through on The Exhibitionists. It's a great time if you love Magic the Gathering. Then on Friday, we are going to be broadcasting a budget meeting for the One Shot Studio. I will be there with Dillin, Fiona, Shalik, and Ben is going to be there. Like, we say a budget meeting. This is going to be a loosey-goosey improv show. I think everybody's going to have some fun watching it. Then for this week, on Saturday, I am running a trivia night. I'm really excited about the cast that I got here. We've got Jeff from System Mastery, Lynn Kodega, Kiana Shaw, Alex Teplitz, yes.
Teplitz,
and
yeah.
Teplitz?
Teplitz.
An L?
Yep. There's an L in there. Yep.
Okay. I am so bad at reading.
You're so good.
Then we've got Fiona, and we've got Alex B. I truly wish we had written full names on there so I could remember everybody who I asked to be on the show. But I got everybody because they have some level of interest or expertise in mythology. And they are going to be doing quiz questions with answers determined by whatever is written in the second and third edition Deities and Demigods books. So basically books put together by some nerds from a long time ago who were very wrong about a lot of the things that they were writing. So we'll have all the experts on hand to tell us how and why they're wrong or insane. And the questions are going to be so bizarre because the information those books give to you about different gods is fucking wild.
I can't wait.
It's going to be a hoot. There are a lot of great events. We are pushing. We would love to get 5K again over on the One Shot Patreon. We realize that times are tough. We are trying to continue to make these shows. And I do not want to have to cut back on anything the network offers. So if you like watching these streams, if you like listening to one-shot shows, please head over to patreon.com/one-shot-podcast. Sign up to support us. If you're not convinced yet, just go and sign up to be a free member. Free members do still get things.
Yes.
And we would love to have you around. It allows you to participate in events like this. We'll be talking about more goals that we have, but Patreon added some new features, so some exciting new things could be added to the One Shot Patreon if we can hit certain goals. So thanks to everybody so much for hanging out with us tonight. I am thrilled at the start of this. I'm so excited about tomorrow and everything else that we've got for this week. Dylan, say your goodbyes. Say you're glad to have yous.
You're all right. I'm so excited. This is so much fun, and I'm so excited to do this again tomorrow and hang out with Shalik, who is just the best. And if you have not heard an episode of Two Shots, which is a direct Patreon exclusive thing that you can get. So if you want to get a literal sneak peek of something that you will get if you're subscribed, that is a one-to-one example. So if you tune in tomorrow night, that is an example of something you can get more of exclusively. And I would love to have you. And I'm just so grateful to be here. So thank you so much to James and to everybody here.
All right. Well, heroes, thank you all so much, and you have a good night. See you next time.